Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Quest Center. Today, we are going to talk about The Last of Us Part 1. Before we get into that, we gotta uh, just a few minor things to talk about. We'll just get right into it, really. Sergio, how are you?
I'm good. I'm good. What about you, dude?
I'm good. And yeah, so what are you been playing recently?
Recently, just passed High on Life.
Mm.
Got that out of the way, and then I've been messing around with a PlayStation Vita that I got from my brother. So I hacked it, and I'm just like downloading like PlayStation One games and like I'm trying to get the Game Boy Advance games, but I already got some of the N64 games on it. It's pretty cool.
It's cool.
Yeah. So honestly,
It's
the only
really
reason
cool.
I got it because I was gonna get one in Japan when we go, but I was like, I really want one for the flight over there. So I was talking to my brother. He's like, "Well, do you want to get mine?" Because the only reason I bought it was to play Final Fantasy. What was it? Final Fantasy, like the one that they just remade. I forgot what it was called. It just came out like last month or 2 months ago.
Oh, I don't know.
I
Hmm.
forgot what it was called, but he's like, and that's the only reason I got it. But then it came out for the PlayStation 5, so I have no use for it. Like it's just sitting there. I was like, well, yeah, like if you're not gonna use it, I'll take it. And yeah, I've been messing with it a lot, and right now I'm just stuck with when I'm playing the games,
Hmm.
it's telling me, oh, low battery, but it doesn't have low battery, and then it just shuts off. So I gotta
What the
fix it.
heck?
Yeah, there's a way around that. I gotta overclock it or something like that. But yeah. But it's funny though because it shuts off and I turn it back on and like the game's still playing. So
Oh,
it's pretty much like
okay.
if it just goes to sleep mode and then and I'm like, it's kind of annoying because it happens every
Mhm.
like 5 minutes. So I need to figure out how I can change that. But yeah, High on Life, recommend it. It's really funny. It's so stupid and the characters they don't shut up. so
Mhm.
so if you're just it's like if you're just like watching Rick and Morty pretty much because well same creator and all
Mhm.
that. But let's see how that goes.
Mhm. Yeah, that's kind of crazy, but I love seeing clips of that game, dude.
Yeah.
I probably won't be able to play it anytime soon. But it's just so fun. I freaking love the let's do it.
Yeah. It's funny. There's a I don't want to spoil it. I'm just not gonna say anything. But yeah, it's
Like
just like
it's
yeah, they're just I love how the guns all interact with each other. Like that's pretty hilarious. And then the what's his name? The knife. He just wants to kill people.
oh yeah.
It's so funny.
Yeah, he's cool. Uh, but yeah, I haven't played anything else. I've just whatever topic we talk about, that's basically what I'm playing. uh, but yeah, but we'll get into that in a bit. I forgot what I was going to talk about exactly.
the
Oh, well, the one thing I wanted to bring up was the Splatfest.
hmm
This happened like weeks ago, but there was another one that happened, and the teams were spicy, sweet, and sour.
Ooh.
Which one would you have chosen?
Spicy. I would have gone with spicy.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
I'm about to find out who won.
Oh, you don't
Hold
even
on.
know?
No, I don't know.
That's funny.
I wanted to look it up earlier, but then I was kind of like, let's see how it is. Oh,
Who won sour?
it was sweet, I think. Yeah, sweet one. Dang.
Yeah, that's
Well,
dumb.
yeah. I mean, yeah, I guess it makes sense. I'm pretty sure like a majority of people probably chose sweet for teams and all that. But oh well. um, and then one thing I want to bring up, I recently got this book. It's video game related. It's not like about a game or someone specifically, but it's called Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow. I don't know if you've heard of it. It's like very popular. It was like book of the year last year.
Who wrote it?
Gabrielle Zevin.
I've heard
Mm-hmm.
that title before. I just never really looked into it. I think the podcast that I listened to brought it up once,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm not really too sure what it's about actually.
Well, I mean, it says right here. two friends, often in love but never lovers, come together as creative partners in the world of video game design, where success brings them fame, joy, tragedy, duplicity, and ultimately a kind of immortality. Uh, yeah, that's kind of like the gist of it and all. But yeah, I just people just kept talking about it
Mm-hmm.
online. I kept seeing it, and I was kind of like, oh man, it has to do with game designers and all that. It'd probably be fun. And like I said, it was book of the year on Goodreads, which is like an app where you get to review books, kind of keep a list of all the ones you've read and all that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then one podcast that I was listening to, they brought it up and they said that there's like a lot of gaming references on
Mm-hmm.
this book, and they do it better than Ready Player One.
I was gonna say, is it better than Ready Player One? 'Cause
Yeah, like this one, like if you don't know like what the game they're talking about, like you're gonna miss the reference basically.
oh,
That's how
okay.
subtle it is. Uh, but yeah, and so I'm really excited. I still need to finish this other book that I started. I'm like halfway through it, so like
Mm-hmm.
it's gonna be a while till I start this one.
Yeah,
uh,
there's a book called Control Freak. It's like
mhm.
an autobiography of Do you know who Cliffy B is?
No,
He's
name
a
sounds
game.
familiar.
He's a game developer, and he pretty much made the God of War. No, not God of War. Gears of War.
Hmm.
So he's the director with those, and he made like an autobiography. Supposedly, it's like really fucking good. And
Mm.
I think he brings up like Miyamoto and all that. Dude, you know who has one too? An autobiography. It's Reggie.
Yeah, I think I've heard of that.
I heard it's really good, dude.
Mm-hmm.
I'm probably gonna get. I want to get both of them, but for sure the Reggie one. That one seems pretty fun.
Yeah. But yeah, those are just things that I saw. Yeah. Didn't bring this in the beginning, but we also did watch The Last of Us show. The first two episodes are out. Um, and I mean, let's just get into that. um, yeah, the first two episodes came out. It's very anticipated. People are very, very like worried because I mean, just of the whole gaming adaptation and all that. But for my thoughts at least, I was pretty excited about it because it's HBO, and then apparently the guy who wrote um, Chernobyl uh, is writing this show with
Yes,
the
with
guy
Neil
who
Druckmann.
created. Yeah, and so I mean Chernobyl. I haven't seen Chernobyl, but that was like everyone's show when it came out. Like it was just everyone's favorite for a long while. So yeah, that was pretty exciting, and I like the cast. People were iffy on the girl that's playing Ellie,
Mm-hmm.
but I was very excited about her. She was great in Game of Thrones.
Yeah, that's.
uh,
I saw a lot of people complaining about it. I think it's just because it doesn't look like her. I
I
think that's what it
mean,
was, but I mean, I because I never finished Game of Thrones, so I haven't gotten to her yet. So,
mm,
but I've heard everyone like, no, she's a good actress, and I'm like, well, that's all that matters, honestly. Like,
yeah,
if she doesn't look like her, like, it doesn't. What's difference is that gonna make?
yeah.
Um, but yeah, my brother and my cousin, they're like, oh yeah, like it's her from Game of Thrones. Like she was fucking badass and all this, and I was like, yeah, sure, man. I was like, I don't know what's going on, but okay.
I trust you.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, when the first episode came out, got really great reviews. And people were loving it. And second episode, oh wait, the first episode came out, and I think it became like the second watch show on HBO.
What was the first? Oh, House of the Dragon, right? Or House of Dragon?
Probably,
Yeah, I think
yeah.
that's what it was.
But viewers went up in the second episode. They said like 22% higher and all that, which is
Dude,
cool. So
the game
people,
sales went up too.
yeah, I saw
I
that.
was like,
I was
what
one
the
of them.
fuck?
Yeah. But but yeah, that was kind of like the anticipation for me, at least of the show. What about you? And I mean, just give your spoiler-free thoughts on it.
The show when they announced that they were working on with HBO for a show for The Last of Us, I was already excited.
Mm-hmm.
I think I brought it up before how like I'd rather have a show of a video game than a TV than a movie because you can cover more of the story, you know. And I mean, like for this one to be covered into a TV show because this is like a story driven game. I'm not saying like there are other things aren't, but this one's like very emotional, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So when I found out it was with HBO and then Neil Druckmann, the director of the game, was gonna be working on it too, I'm like, this is gonna be a good fucking show. And uh, I'm gonna be honest, I haven't seen the first episode. The second episode was pretty cool, but
What?
it's because
How?
it's because I had worked at 5 a.m. right. Worked at 5
Mm-hmm.
a.m. Got off at 1:30. Went to my mom's, or I went somewhere to. What do we do? Oh no, we went to my brother-in-law's. I want to go watch like a load somewhere real quick, and then we went to my brother-in-law's to go eat, and we're just there with him, and we were there till like maybe 11 or 12, and so we got home. And I was telling Susan, like, what do you want to do? Do you want to go to bed? Or, like, she's like, no, like, well, whatever. And I just put on HBO, like, fuck it, we're watching the show. Like, I'm going to watch it, right? And I was watching it, like, the first maybe 10 minutes. And I was like, okay, so far, it's so good. Um, and then I just kept dozing and, like, dozing on, off and on. So I would wake up, something's happening, fall asleep. Wake up, something's happening, fall asleep. And it's just, like, the whole episode. And then at the end, she's like, do you just want to go to bed? I was like, nah, like, just finish it. Like, I'll watch it tomorrow. And I just never got around to it. And so
Mm-hmm.
my brother and my friend, they're like, dude, did you see it? And I was like, I actually fell asleep. And they're like, oh, well, you didn't really miss much because it's like the beginning of the game, like word for word. And I was like,
Yeah.
oh, okay, yeah, okay. Well, I'll watch it whenever I can. And then, excuse me, episode 2 came out. They're like, oh, do you want to watch it? And I was like, nah. I mean, if I know what's going on, like, it's fine. And I was there too. Like, I was playing Magic the Gathering, so I was like,
Mm.
let's just play Magic, and I'll just watch it eventually. So I really doubt I'm gonna watch it, but I mean, I did watch episode 2. I saw the whole thing.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, like they said though, the first episode, like, it is kind of beat for beat
Yes.
the beginning of the game and all that. You just get different shots,
Uh huh.
basically, of that sequence, of the whole sequence and all that. Second episode, it's where you don't. I wouldn't say you don't have to pay attention, but I think you get I guess like a broader aspect of the story.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's still the same beat of when I shouldn't spoil it. You know where it ends.
Yeah.
It just kind of like it's
Yeah.
just the
It's like these
visuals,
little different things here and there. Like it's
little
like
different
the
things,
same. Like
visual.
it's like the same as the game, but it's just like, oh, instead of doing it this way, the way they did it, they just kind of do that.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I'll get into the differences when
Mm-hmm.
we get to the
No. Yeah. Of
spoilers and all
course.
that. But it's just visually like it really looked. Okay, so for my thoughts on the first episodes, yeah, like I said, it's basically the same thing as the game.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't really have much thoughts about it on the first episode because I had literally just like watching the first episode. I had literally just gotten past that part basically, in
Oh.
the
Okay.
game. Where I was at. It wasn't until like then once I got to the second episode, I think I was probably towards the end of the game, and
Mm-hmm.
then after then I beat it afterwards.
Damn, you beat it pretty
Um,
fast.
yeah, I mean
You were
it's
rushing through it.
I was rushing through it, and also it is pretty short. Like I mean, it's way shorter than like the first God of War, or
Is it?
2018 God of War. Yeah, it just feels long
You know
because
what?
like
I think it was long for me because I played it in the hardest difficulty.
oh that's
So
probably
I
why.
kept dying and dying, so that's why it took forever to pass it.
Hmm.
But
And it already takes you long because you're trying to like be quiet around the zombies and shit.
yeah.
So like and you look through every single house, every single drawer, trying to
Yeah,
get
and then when it's
supplies
harder,
and
like
shit.
your resources are like less. So it's like
Hmm.
because I played it in like the hardest, and I've tried it with like I saw my brother play it and just like regular, like I think normal or something,
Hmm.
and he was opening drawers, and I'm like, dude, this guy's getting like so much ammo and like so many health, like cloths and stuff to make first aid kits,
Hmm.
and I was like, I didn't get any of that. I was like, I would get like one bullet. This guy got like 5. I was like, God damn, that sucks.
That's right. Um. But yeah, I couldn't really have much thoughts about it. The only thing, like I said, that was actually kind of exciting are the actors. You do see like some differences between Pedro Pascal and Troy Baker's
Hmm.
performances and all that. Like I said, I was really excited for the actress that played Ellie. I think she's killing it so far. I understand some people's complaints in that like she's just a little bit more tougher than she is in the game, but I don't. I understand that as a minor complaint, but for me though, I don't see really a problem with it because it's a girl living in an apocalypse.
Yeah.
To me, it makes more sense that she's this way than how she is in the game. So, but yeah, I mean, they're just doing a great job so far of like replicating the Oh my gosh, replicate. Oh my god, that's weird. I can't say it. Right? Yeah, that.
Replicating.
I don't know why. It felt like it was coming out
Yeah.
wrong. Copying the world. And just basically following the story, and it's pretty slow so far, but I think they're just building out the characters in the world. At the third episode is where I heard people who already saw like the first 4 episodes, I think. They said that the third one is like game changing. Basically, that's where you're really gonna get hooked, you know. So
yeah, you know what I was scared of is that they were gonna like okay, season 1, and then it's gonna finish, and they're like, okay, well, we need to make a season 2 because we didn't finish the story. But the way it seems like the last episode is gonna end with the game, like the way that's just how the pacing's going. Because I was like, this is pretty good, and me and my cousin were like, dude, if this doesn't happen in the second episode, like I don't really care for it. I'm just gonna wait for it till I'll come out and I'll just watch it and we'll watch season 2. And then we're like, hey, it's not bad. Like they're doing exactly what I want them to do.
Yeah.
So that's good. That's a plus on my side right there too.
Yeah, I think they said that they don't want to go beyond the games, so chances are we're only gonna get 2 seasons. But that's what good. I hope they would do though is kind of the second season just make a story of like what happened before The Last of Us Part 2.
Yeah,
you know, especially I mean, like I haven't played the game the second part of the game yet, but I know what happens in that game, and I know the complaints people had, and to me though, like I feel like you can do something in between that, like in the story between that to kind of like flesh it out more, really like help build up to the second part of the game and all.
Yeah, what a lot of people wanted was for like pretty much 2 DLCs, because you can honestly with The Last of Us, with the franchise, you don't, they can make so many stories because they don't it's like Star Wars, they don't just have to work like focus on the Skywalkers. They can just like go to like a different place and just like, okay, let's do something with these new characters. This is like an outbreak. They can just like, instead of making it in the US, they can do something like in Japan or some place else follow some other characters. And it all makes sense because it's part of the world. But what people wanted as DLC was the in between the game 1 and 2, like what happens after the first game and in between the second one, or even what happens to Joel like right after. Well, there's a time skip in the beginning. So what happened between like the beginning of the game and then that little time skip to like where he's at when you start playing again? Because that'd be pretty interesting just to see what Joel did like after the events, Because I mean, he started off. Where is he at? In Texas, right?
Yeah.
And he starts off in Texas, and then after the time skip, what was it, like 13 years? I think he's in Boston. That's like across the fucking across the USA, So that'd be pretty interesting to see what he did just to get there.
And I mean, at the beginning of the episodes, they are doing like flashbacks. The first one started in 1963. Second one started like 2 days before the outbreak and all that. So we might get like a flashback or something of Joel at some point. I think we're for sure gonna get one when he catches up to his brother. That's not really a spoiler much because it's
he's in the game, right? Yeah. I mean, he's in the show already. You know what I liked about it too, because I was like so scared of how they're gonna start the show, and so when they did that little like TV, like the interview with the the scientist, I was like, oh, okay, cool. He's explaining the virus already, like because it's a virus that's known to like what's it called, ants, right? I think it was. And then the intro kicks in, and I'm like, oh, dude, I'm so glad that they picked the music from the game.
Yeah, that's something that I mentioned before. Like, stick to the music in the games. Like, don't fucking change it and all. Just kind of stick with it. But yeah, that was basically our spoiler-free thoughts. I mean, we're excited for the rest of the episodes. I can't wait.
Same.
Yeah, but on with the game. Spoiler-free thoughts on the game. You tell me.
Spoiler-free thoughts of the game. It's really good. it's really fucking good. It's really good. I love. This is a game that I like talking about. Just because when it came out, this is a game that when they came out, I was like every day. Like when they announced it, I was like, okay, it's Naughty Dog. I love the Uncharted series, and when they first announced that trailer back in E3, I forgot what year it was, but it's just it's Joel and Ellie like in a what is it, a hotel or a motel, and they're fighting some guy. They kill him, and then they're just getting his stuff. Like they're pickpocketing him, and then they hear the clicker, so they hide in the bathroom, and then the clicker's like looking around, and Joel's just behind the wall, like, and he's like takes a deep breath, and he clocks the handgun, and like the clicker hears the thing, so he starts charging at towards where the sound came off, and I was like, what the fuck is this? And then, it just ends like, oh, The Last of Us, and I was like, oh, I'm so in. And like every single day, dude, for like 2 summers, just like or any news, any like videos, and when we got that other gameplay, I was like, fuck, that's so good, dude. Like you see like the blood going down Joel's face, and I was like, this game is amazing. And then it came out. I remember when it came out, I had to work at Jack in the Box. I had to go in at 7, get off at 4, and I was like, I usually get off at 1 though. So at 1, go to GameStop, go to my grandpa's house because they were having like a little party, like a little dinner, and then go home and play all night. So I get there and I was like, hey, can I leave early? Like, no, you can't. I was like, god damn it, I'm here till fucking 4:30. So the whole time I was just like, fuck, I want to go. And then I got off. I went home, and then I got a message from one of our friends. And he's like, hey, can you take me? I got to pick up my copy. So I was like, yeah, I'll be there like in 20 minutes. So we go real fast. I drop him off back home. And I go to my grandpa's and he texts me again. He's like, dude, it's really good. Are you playing? I was like, no, dude, I'm fucking stuck here for like another 2 hours. So, great memory. Great memory and a great fucking game, dude. It was so fun. Like that was it's probably one of the best games that I've played. It's not my top 10. It's on my top 10 list, but it's not number 1, but it's up there for like just memories and like how good it was.
That's cool. I just downloaded it. I mean, not downloaded it. I just bought it. Yeah. Well, I mean, I got the PS5 version though. So like, you know, the one that they basically
the remastered redid. Remade.
Yeah.
I was all mad when they announced it. I was like, why? Why are you guys doing this shit for? Like, you guys remastered it for the PS4. Like, come on. I was like, leave it alone. But then I guess it was for the TV show, and I guess it worked because I mean they're making a lot of money off of that one too.
Yeah, sales went up. I mean, even I freaking bought it. I mean,
dude, you know what's so funny? I think the day after you bought it, or like 2 days after, I think it became free.
No fucking way.
I think I'm not too sure if I read it right because I haven't turned on my PS5 in like so long, but I think it's free for like the PlayStation Plus, like the not the regular one, but like the one that comes with all those games. Do you have that one?
Well. Yeah, I have it actually, and I was looking through it.
It's not there. It was probably on sale.
Yeah, I didn't see it.
I could have sworn that it said that it was free, and I was like, "Oh, that sucks for David." I'm like, I'm not gonna mention it to him, but I was like, I have to. But I was like, "Oh, okay." It was probably like on sale or something. But
maybe
because I did
chances are on sale.
Yeah, I did see something about like it was free or something like that, and I was just like, "Oh shit, that's cool." So I was like, I'll probably just download it then because I don't have that version.
But yeah, no, I got it, and I mean, before getting it, I knew this is like people considered it like one of the best games ever and all that. So like I kind of had like pretty big
expectations.
Expectations. Wow, I can't talk
again. What's wrong with you?
I had pretty big expectations about the game. Wait, what?
You froze for like a little bit, but no, just the expectations part.
Yeah.
I have a quick question. What you were playing it right now? Did you know the story of the game? Like, did you know what happened?
I know the basics of it. That I know that she was. Oh, I forgot. Oh my gosh, I forgot. Actually, I played it before. Like a long time ago. Someone brought Alice X brought.
Oh yeah, that's the friend. That's Josh. Yeah, what's up, Josh?
Yeah.
What's up? He's the one that I took to GameStop. I didn't want to say it. Should
I? Yeah, he brought his PlayStation once, and I was
Mhm.
playing it all night when he brought it. I think, but I only made it up to basically kind of like the sequence after where the second episode left off.
Oh,
You know
okay.
how like in
Yeah,
the
yeah.
game, like what happens afterwards. You meet that other guy, and basically that's where I was. I
Yes.
was in the game. It was just it really wasn't that far, honestly. Weird. Um.
Yeah, you know what? I was
But
watching a recap video. Like
mhm,
today I was like, I need to watch a recap. And I was listening to it and I was like, everything happens like boom, 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 boom. Like
mhm.
but to me, since I took fucking weeks to get to each section, I was like, oh, this is a long fucking game. But I guess it's not.
Yeah. Plot wise, like it's super short.
Hmm.
I mean, I'll say it now. I knew the gist of it basically. That basically, Ellie and Joel had to basically go across the country,
Yeah.
together and all that. And just from that, though, I could tell too that's like it's what they call it, the wolf and cub story. You like that trope.
Uh,
Basically, it's like
I don't, but I do get it. Yeah.
yeah. So I kind of knew, but I just didn't know what happens in between that, obviously. So that was kind of I was wondering what was going to happen if like who they meet. Is it just going to be all bad people all throughout
Hmm.
the whole thing or something? I don't know. So yeah, there was a lot that I still didn't know. Uh, but yeah, I played it and it's really really good. Yeah. I I freaking love the world. The whole environment just looks so fucking beautiful and everything. And uh the fighting the zombies part of it is super super fun. I love that you can just get super creative, but you can either get like pretty creative in how you get away with them or how do you want to kill them and all that.
Yeah.
But ultimately like you can't get into like a pattern of sorts to kind of get past them and all. Um and in terms of the story, I did like the relationship between Ellie and Joel and all that, but I feel like it could have been fleshed out a bit more. But that's just me. Hopefully, you do that in the show. Um, well, it seems like they're doing that in the show, honestly. Uh, but yeah, ultimately, it's just a fun zombie game that you can really like has a lot of replayability, and all that.
Oh, dude, just wait till you get to the second one.
Mm.
It's so good too.
Yeah, I heard the gameplay is better than the second part.
No, it is. Yeah, it's top notch.
Mm. Uh, but yeah, it's just. I mean, this is definitely another game that I can like. I definitely would love to replay it in a harder difficulty
Hmm.
at some point. But yeah, it's good. Honestly, I'll probably give it like a 9 out of 10.
Nine
Just
out of
because.
10.
Yeah, I mean, like I said though, like I feel like they could have fleshed it out more the relationship on certain moments. I mean, I don't know. I'm trying to remember some of the dialogue between, which is, I mean, it is fun, especially when they like start, especially when like the relationship really they start becoming closer.
Hmm.
That was fun. Um, but yeah, I don't know. And then I mean, I don't know if it was just me or maybe I was just being like a sore loser about it, but there were moments though where I was like, "That's bullshit." There's no way I got caught. There's no way I could have missed. Because I'm not kidding you. There was a moment that where like the zombie was like point blank range at me, and I'm somehow missing. Like I know the circle is on his head. Like what's going on here? But I mean, I don't know. It could just be me.
That's so fucking funny,
Um.
dude.
hmm. But yeah, those are our thoughts, spoiler free thoughts of the game. But yeah, I mean, let's just get into spoilers of. We'll go into spoilers of both the show and the game, because I would like to talk about some of the differences, within the two.
With the two of them.
Um, yeah, I mean the beginning of it, that the beginning of it is I can understand why it's iconic. It's really really good. The way like the whole build up of the virus of the world going to shit basically, and the relationship between Joel and his biological daughter, Sarah. I mean, it's just
Are we in
short.
the spoilers already or no?
Yeah.
R.I.P.
R.I.P. Yeah. uh, I mean, in the show, they really fleshed out more of kind of like their daily lives, I guess you can say, which I think was a good idea. I think for people who uh, haven't played the game or don't really know the story, I think it was a good way to like trick them into thinking that Sarah was probably going to be a character that you would follow throughout the show or something.
Oh yes.
Uh,
I'm waiting for
mhm.
my mother-in-law to see if she's gonna watch it. I'm pretty sure she'll like it. So I'm just waiting for her to see like the first episode and be like, "Hey, what do you think about Sarah?" So I'll be like, "Did you cry?"
I saw it with my dad actually.
Oh
I
really?
really, yeah, I wanted to get his thoughts on someone who like, he has no idea about the game and
Yeah.
all that. And I actually saw a reaction video of these three dudes who haven't played the game.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so yeah, and both my dad and those in that reaction video, they were all like, "Fuck," on the on that introduction. But yeah, I mean, basically, like you get this whole sequence of just the whole world going to shit. They're trying to get away and shit and all that. And actually, in that sequence when they're driving, you can you definitely notice the differences in acting between Pedro Pascal and Troy Baker. I mean, Troy Baker. I mean, basically, it's all in his voice, obviously, because
Yeah.
voice actor and all that. But like, I love it though, and it was when they get past this family who were like asking for help on the road, but Joel is just like, nope, keep driving, just leave them behind, and all that. But with Troy Baker though, in his voice, he tells his brother like, keep driving, like
Mm-hmm.
you can hear the threat in his voice and all that. But with Pedro Pascal, he doesn't sound as threatening, but he is giving his brother a look of like, you better fucking drive,
But in
and all
the
that.
in the show, they didn't interact with anyone, right? In the when they're in the car.
No, they didn't interact with anyone when
Oh,
they
I
were in
thought
the
they
car
did.
in the
Oh,
game.
okay.
No, no, they just no. It was just that. Yeah, it was just that family that
Mm-hmm.
they drive past by. Oh my god.
You're on a good one today.
I know what's going on. Um, yeah, but I mean, basically the whole sequence was the same. The burning house fire, even the same line. What was it? That's Jimmy's place and all that.
Yeah, that, and then what is it like the oh my god,
per-
when they're
perspective.
no, wait, that too, but like it's that shot when the I think like the ambulance or the cops go in front of them, like they pass them real
Mm,
quick, and then you see like the signs. Oh my god, there we go, the signs, the
yeah,
street signs, and I was like, oh, that's cool.
yeah. There's a bunch. I love seeing the images of like similarities between the two
Mm-hmm.
and all that. Yeah, you see the house, you see the signs, and you see they're like in the middle of the city or town that they live in. It's you see fires everywhere, people running around. Which is, I mean, it's all really cool. I mean, I really liked that they went 1-for-1 on it. Um, at first I was kind of, like kind of like, ooh, I really hope the camera like isn't always in the car and all that. But no, we get like close up shots of the other characters and all that. Some of them outside of the car. Um, and I like how that sequence ended with the plane crashing down, because
Did that happen in the game?
no, in the game I think
Like the gas
they go.
station just blew up, right?
No, I think it was they just go past this truck that was on fire,
Mm-hmm.
but when they passed the street, another car was going like straight at them basically, and that's how they ended up out of the car.
Oh, okay. I need to watch the whole sequence again, like the one in the show, because
Mm.
my brother was saying that the plane crashed at the gas station. That's what caused the gas station to blow up. But I was like, no, I don't remember a plane at all. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Because
That
I
was
was
in.
because I was dozing off. Like I woke up literally like I think when he was already holding her, like oh let's go, like, and then that's when they met with the what's it called? That's when they like he had her in his arms and he was running
Mm.
already. So that's when I woke up and I was like, oh cool.
Okay.
And then I don't remember after that. I fell back
Yeah.
asleep.
But yeah, and then I mean after that, Joel, Sarah, like her ankle's broken or something. and Joel has to carry her, and they're just trying to get away from all the people and the zombies as fast as they can. And they end up with the soldier, running into a soldier,
Mm-hmm.
and minor complaint on this, but like they changed the line of the soldier. The soldier, he's talking to his radio, saying like, "Oh, there's a man and there's two people here. What should I do?" In the show, he just says yes, sir, like multiple times, and obviously, like he changes his voice at some point. And that's how you're supposed to know that he has to shoot them. But I found it better in the game where he goes, there's two people here, and then he goes, "Sir, one of them's a girl, like a little girl,"
Yeah.
and all that. Because to me, that's how I got it right away. Even after like replaying it,
No, yeah.
beginning part, like I forgot about that. I was like, "Oh shit, like, he has to shoot them," that. Like I wish it would have kept that. I don't know. Just a minor nitpick right there. But yeah, he shoots them. Sarah gets most of the hit, and dies in Joel's arms. And I mean, all three times really, I cried. Fucking, it's sad, man.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I mean, not like full on tears, but like I'm on the brink of it and all that. But in the game though, I cried more so, from the daughter's performance, just because like the way she like gives out and screams in pain because of the bullet wound and all
Yeah,
that.
you know what, because I was not comparing, but like what I remember, so I liked when she died. Well, I don't want her to die, but I liked her death scene better in the game than in the show, because I don't know, when I was watching it in the show, like, because I did see it, and it felt like she was just like like breathing in fast, I mean, I don't know how you
I
act
mean,
when you're dying, but I mean, like, I like I like the game performance more, because you can hear like she's gasping for air, and you can
yeah,
like,
for sure.
she's crying at the same time, and it's like, oh fuck, like
Mhm.
that one hits you hard. And then when I was watching like the show, I was like, you guys could have done like a better take, guys.
Yeah, yeah. No, I mean the game one. I think it was just like her shriek of pain, kind of like just affected me more
Hmm.
than the other one. I mean, hers like it wasn't bad at all. I think like it was good.
Yeah, I'm not
It was,
complaining about it, but I did like the other one more.
but I
Mhm.
mean, in the show though, it was Pedro Pascal's performance that got me to cry more. It was just I don't know what it was. I think just him going like I know, I know, I know. Like
Oh yeah,
it
dude,
was
it's
just affecting me more and all that. um, but yeah, I mean that sequence, it's just
so
good, man.
good, dude. It's so good. I
Mm.
remember when I was playing it, I was like, damn. I was like, this is
Yeah.
the game.
I mean, it hits your heart like right away. Like this
Hmm.
game is gonna be depressing,
It's gonna be
guys.
a good one.
Get ready. And I mean, yeah, it's kind of. I mean, I wouldn't say depressing the rest of the game, but like, yeah, you get the worst parts of it.
It's just so sad.
Yeah, and I mean, actually, and stuff like that. Part of the reason why Alexis Soto, maybe Kyle too, like are kind of not that interested in watching it because they're kind of burnt out of because of the Walking Dead. Because the
Yeah,
Walking Dead,
I asked Alexis Soto. I was like, "Are you guys gonna like review the show so I can?" Because I was like, "I'm really excited to hear them talk about it." And then he was telling me something about like what was it? He's kind of like tired of the whole zombie apocalypse thing, and I was like, "But you don't understand. Like, you just don't understand." I was like, "All
it's
right,
the
cool."
Last of Us.
Yeah, I was like, "All right, cool." And then that's when you texted me. You were like, "Oh, I'm done with the game. I don't need them. I was like, I don't need them to cover this."
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it's gonna be like that for them, and I can understand why.
Yeah.
It really is gonna be kind of hard to watch, I guess.
Yeah, I would just like them
Afterwards.
to watch it just for the story, honestly. Because I mean, I think everyone's kind of burnt out with the whole zombie apocalypse, but I mean, this story is really good. Like,
Hmm.
I mean, they do encounter the infected every once in a while, but like honestly, like to me, like when I was playing the game, the ones that I would worry about would be the fucking humans.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'll be
It's-
like, as clicker, just throw a bottle, kill it. With
mhm.
the fucking humans, it's like, okay, don't get spotted. Because
Yeah,
if you get spotted, you start getting shot at. So
They'll get spotted. But yeah, I was just talking about some of the gameplay of it. Basically, the first time that I encountered clickers, playing it in here, I honestly don't remember how I did in the first time I played it. I really can't. I just remember like the beginning, and then when you meet that one guy that gives you the car, the battery.
Oh,
Mm.
Bill.
Yeah, Bill. Like that's really all I remember. It's weird. I don't know. But
You
playing it
go
here though.
because you need a card to go to Tommy's to go
Yeah,
to the town that he's in, right? I forgot what Alexandria was that what it was called? The town I forgot what it was called, but
I remember.
yeah. So you need a card to get there, and I think Joel was like, "Oh, I know a guy," so they go to a town, and I forgot. Oh, it's called Bill's Town, and
Mm.
yeah. So you go to the town, and it's all set with booby traps.
Mm-hmm.
And then Ellie's like, oh, that's when you get there's a clicker running towards you, and it gets blown up by the bombs. I think that's when you learn how to make those bombs,
Mm-hmm.
the ones that get like the spike bombs.
Yeah.
And and she's like, oh, what the fuck? And he's like, what the hell is that? Yep. Welcome to Bill's Town. And he's like up there
Yeah.
like on the church hiding. I loved him, dude. I loved him a lot. And then for what's his name? Oh my goodness. He's from that one show. That's like The Office, Parks and Rec, that
Mm.
plays him. Something Offerman.
Oh. 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 No,
Do you
I don't
remember his?
remember.
I don't remember his name, but I'm always watching clips of him, like, and he's so fucking hilarious. Parks
Yeah.
and Rec characters.
Oh.
Nick Offerman. There we go.
Okay. I
So
was right.
he plays Bill in the show. So I'm hoping that he comes out in the next episode.
Oh, that's cool. Oh, he is in the show, isn't he?
Yeah, I think in the trailer they show him, but he got announced like I
Oh,
think like last year they announced that he was gonna be playing Bill, and I was like, dude, who like fucking perfect, like like that's fucking
that's
perfect.
awesome.
Yeah,
I mean, I know that they got some of the voice actors to come back play the same roles. Like the one lady who like recruits Joel to get Elle out of the city. She's that's the same
that's
actress
the
as the
voice
one in the game.
actors
Yeah,
for what's her name Oh my god, what was her name?
I can remember
Not
the.
Marley, but it starts with an M. You know
Mhm.
what's I don't know if you saw, but they also got the original voice actors that made the clicker sounds.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
got them to do the clicker sounds for the show, and I was like, dude, that is so fucking spot on. That's so like I was like, that's really cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Last of
Uh,
Us game. Dude, and I had a tab open with the names of the characters. Tessa, Marlene.
Marlene. Yeah, yeah,
That
yeah.
was her. I was like,
Mhm.
she really looks like the character.
No, yeah, that's she did. She played the character in the
That's
game,
cool.
and yeah, no, in Nick Offerman, that's cool. I know Troy Baker's gonna come out in the show, obviously playing a different character, but I'm excited to see what they gave him.
The what's her name? The voice actress for Eddie's also in the show.
Mm-hmm.
She plays her mom, Ashley Johnson. That's her name.
Mm-hmm. Where is she?
Yeah. So I supposedly they said that she plays Eddie's mom in a flashback.
That's cool.
In the
Holy
trailer, people are saying I don't know if it's true or not, but in the trailer the first trailer they announced there's a woman just crying in the bathroom holding the baby that's supposed to be her. Well, that is her. So yeah, that's her. Yeah, I think they have a
Mm.
flashback of her giving birth to Ellie,
Okay, that's
and I was like,
actually really
that's
cool.
cool. That's pretty nice.
Well, but yeah. Um, about Bill's Town, I fucking got killed by those bombs 3 times. I could not
Oh
see
really?
them, and like, and it took me a while too to notice the music will build up whenever you're getting close
Yeah.
to the bombs, and I was like, oh, the music. Damn, you really gotta listen in this game, like so than anything else. You really gotta like pay attention to the music and the sound effects and shit. It's
Yeah,
like,
I think if you disarm them, you get to keep the bombs.
oh, you can disarm them.
Yeah,
I
so
was just
if you get close to it, you press. It'll give you the option. Press triangle. You disarm it, and I think you keep the parts or the bombs. One of those two. Were you shooting at them or what?
yeah, I was just throwing stuff
Throwing
at
stuff at
them.
it. Yeah.
That's funny. But yeah, I mean the gameplay of it. When I first encountered clickers, though, I kept dying a lot. But every single time though, I would get better and better, like
Yeah.
sneaking around him and all that. And so I was just, I think that was really cool though, that I can see it. I can go, oh wow, I'm getting better. Okay, let's go. What can I do here? Come on. And it's just, and it just gets better as you get more weapons too. Especially, I love using the bow and arrow. Because
Oh,
that
dude,
one,
that was my favorite.
yeah, for sure. Especially when you're going up against clickers, because you can just kind of like get right
Headshot
on
him.
them
Yeah.
and headshot. If you can headshot them, fucking, I don't know how I miss it, but whatever. And I mean, you can use it on humans too. You only need one, but it will be a waste though. So it's better to use them on clickers than humans.
But don't the arrows, you can use them for like like twice, right? Like you can pick them up, can't you?
But only if they're headshots.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
All right, that makes sense.
yeah.
Damn, I guess I suck at it.
uh, but yeah, um, but yeah. I mean, the in the movie, in the show, basically plays out the same way, and then you just get like a little bit. I mean, you're in that quarantine zone for like a little bit in both the movies and oh my god, in the show and and the game.
I know, dude. When I'm
uh,
talking, I'm trying so hard not to say movie.
I mean, we're used to that.
Might as well. Might as well.
Mhm. Um, but yeah. No, it's once you're in the city though, that's when things kick off and all that. And I liked in the second episode of the show. In the show, they got rid of the spores stuff. They like that's not in the game, dude. That's
Yeah,
not in the
I
show.
was gonna bring this up right when you started off the spoilers, and I totally forgot about it. Do you know why they did that?
People are saying because they don't want to cover up the actors' faces, but
Um.
I heard,
Yeah. Okay.
or like what I read is that the creators were like, we lived in a pandemic where
Mm-hmm.
we had to wear masks. That did not happen.
Yes. Spores are
So
everywhere.
yeah, it's so basically it's like it's not gonna happen here. Chances are it's not gonna happen in the show. Or, you
Oh no,
know.
I didn't hear that one.
Oh really?
Yeah. So what I heard from I don't know if this is from an actual like I think advisor, like someone that works for the TV show. They said that they took off the spores because I mean like like spores are everywhere, right? And so
Mm-hmm.
if the spores are gonna be here in the show, like everyone's gonna get fucking infected either way.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, huh,
Oh
I was like, that kind of does make sense. But then I was like, bring them back though. Like spores are cool.
yeah, yeah. I mean, they did a nice replacement. I'll get
Hmm.
that in a bit. But yeah, I know what you mean
Oh
now.
yeah,
Like,
that there we go. There, I hated
mhm.
that.
Yeah, but basically, like mechanically, it kind of doesn't make sense that like when spores spread out, it's not gonna be contained into one area. Like it's kind of gonna spread,
Hmm.
especially because hundreds of zombies are being created and shit.
Yeah,
So yeah, okay, that I like that. That makes a lot of sense.
yeah.
Um,
I never heard the one about the masking. I was like, huh. I was like, you kind of
yeah.
needed to fucking survive, especially. I
Hmm.
mean, because COVID compared to that, I'd rather have COVID being around
Hmm.
instead of fucking zombies and shit or
Yeah.
infected.
Hmm. But yeah, the show they had a cool replacement, but basically, um, it's not spores, but I guess fungus growing in the ground and spreading, in the walls on the ground and all that. And if you step on it, that the other zombies basically can feel it and they'll start running towards you. So that's a neat replacement where you really had to they have to be really be careful where they step. Try to just avoid whatever wherever the fungus is growing and all that. So that adds more, I guess. It still adds tension to the whole environment and all that. So that's really cool.
I'm gonna be honest, I hated that.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
So this happened in what episode 2, right? That's when they
Mm.
show it off.
Mm.
Um. I don't know. It's neat. I like it because I mean that's how fungus works. Like I don't know if you've seen documentaries of like fungus and fungi and stuff like that, but it's crazy. Like it's like imagine it's one giant network, and it's like if like I step on a piece of fungus here, right? Like in our town, someone
Mm.
from like if it grows long enough, like it. Let's say somewhere in Boston is like for some reason it's still like connecting, like growing all the way because it grows for miles, dude.
Mm-hmm.
It'll feel it. It'll feel the sensor over here
Mm-hmm.
that I stepped in, like that many miles away, and I was like, that's really cool. At first I was like, that's really cool, but then I thought, well, the sequence, right? Like they step on the piece of fungus, and a bunch of them are coming towards him, and all I could think about was World War Z.
Mm.
So that's why I didn't like it. It kind of took my mind off of the show and being like, okay, well, they're gonna have to start shooting and blasting zombies out, and I'm like, God, I don't want to. How are they gonna work around that? Because I don't want them. I don't want it to happen every other episode. So I'm just like, God damn it. But I was like, we'll see how it goes.
I mean, for this one though, they do kind of like break reality from it, where they say like it only grows like a mile or two.
They said that.
I mean, yeah.
Oh, I missed that part.
Okay, yeah.
That's what I was like, oh, dude, like they're all gonna be there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, basically, it just in the show they said that it only grows for like a mile or two and all that, and so they gotta be careful where they step. And they said that only like maybe a dozen or so zombies could feel it. So yeah, they kind of
dozen. That seemed like fucking 50 of them.
I mean, it's probably because they were all grouped together.
Yeah.
And all that, but
no, that's fine. Okay, no, now that you mentioned that, then I mean, okay, that's even better because.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fine. Okay. That's not that bad. That is a nice replacement.
I mean,
I thought it was like the whole fucking nation coming towards them. I was like, God damn.
Yeah, if they went realistic with the fungus as much as possible, then they're fucked.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, I didn't hear the part where it was only like a mile or two. Okay, that's neat.
Yeah. So I mean, either way though, like it adds tension to certain scenes and all that, and they really gotta be careful. But the entire time though, when they're in the museum and like walking around those zombies, so were you in your head like going, is there bottles in around, or is there bricks around and all that? And
dude, I was waiting for him to be like, just like, you know how you can use a shiv, just like go behind it. That's it. Be all quiet about it. But yeah, the whole time I was like, dude, just throw a bottle over there, like, break the glass.
I didn't think about it at first, but I saw the episode twice, and there was a moment though where he had to like take out the bullets from his revolver. I was like, wait, use the bullets, just throw them. Yeah. He could have done that.
They don't think a lot in this show, huh? They're so stupid, like.
Yeah, and then there was also a moment though where they were like crouching down and trying to like walk crouching down, and apparently they don't want to do that a lot because no 55-year-old
dude I saw that
can crouch down for like more than 3 minutes and I love it though because like if you see Joel, he's fucking hurting as he's walking though, because he's kind of like he almost wants to go like, oh god,
yeah,
my knees. Yeah, it's funny, but yeah, I kind of like that sequence because it was first Ellie that like messed them up. She just literally like did like a little gasp and all that, and they get caught and shit. But then later on, Joel is the one that messed up because he stepped on the piece of glass. Which stepping on glass actually fucked me up in the game.
Oh really?
Step on him, yeah, and I got caught.
Dude, you know what's so funny? Like I didn't know that was a thing in the first game. Like until I played, like when I was playing the second game, like there's glass, so I step on glass and like enemies would be like, oh, they're over there, and I'm like, oh fuck, glass. But that never happened to me in the first game. So I was like, oh, now that you're mentioning it, it's like, did they add it to the new one, or was it like just always there?
I mean, chances are they probably added it to this one. Because
when you're playing the hardest difficulty, you're always crouching, so maybe maybe it was just me getting lucky.
Yeah, maybe. But yeah, and then they make it out of that place, and at the end of the second episode, that's where we find out. I can never remember her name, but Joel's friend
Tessa.
Tessa.
Tess.
Yeah, Tess.
Yeah, I keep saying Tessa for some reason in my head.
She got bit and all that. And actually, this is another one that I like.
The game more?
Her death? Or I mean,
I like the scene more in the game when they're talking that she got infected.
Okay. I can't remember the game much. Oh, I remember now. Actually, I remember they cut out this one line in the show where she says like, whatever there was between us, like find that and like use do this for me and all that. I kind
Yeah.
of wish they would have kept that in the show. It's like it was a really nice line. But yeah, her death though between the two. I mean, she in the game she fights feds off and all that. Just doesn't make it. In this one though, she blows up a bunch of. Oh my gosh, the blowing up the clickers, dude! How fucking annoyed were you that she didn't pick up a grenade, or that Joel and Ellie didn't pick up a grenade?
They had grenades.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know they had grenades.
Yeah, she breaks opens those barrels and like starts pouring gas everywhere and all that. And at one point she grabs a box and it's grenades.
Oh,
and she tosses it to the floor.
I never like thought about it, and I think I did, but then I thought maybe a grenade explosion wouldn't do anything to gasoline. But then I don't know how grenades work.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, video games they do so and all that, but I don't know about real life. But then I don't know. Maybe it was just to add more tension with the whole makeout scene. So.
Oh, I mean, yeah, I know like the lighter was to just add more tension, but it's still though like they're right there. She just had to like throw it down, and I'm pretty sure it'll make a big enough spark that it'll catch the rest on fire and all that. But yeah, I remember when she tossed the grenades, I was watching with my dad, and he just goes, "Ooh, grab some, just grab some on the go. Come on."
He said that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I remember one part in the show when Joel killed the clicker, he shoots one that goes down, and then like as it's on the floor, he shoots like maybe 2 or 3 more times. And I remember freaking out because I was like, "No, your bullets,
yeah.
you only have so much."
That's fucking hilarious, man.
Actually, one thing I do love about the game, even though like I got quite a few bullets, it feels like very limiting.
Yes.
Too much as much as you have. The only thing
and then when you have like the full amount, you're like, "Ooh, I can use a lot."
Yeah,
but then you're like,
I mean, it was kind of frustrating for me because like, well, I have something that's full, and I'm like, oh, should I use this gun and use it? But then like, chances are I'm not gonna come back, and then I'm not that good with shots, so it's kind of better to use like the shotgun or and all that. So it's always kind of frustrating for me, but I mean it's all fun. But yeah. Oh, and then I don't know what was up with the kissing thing. They said that the creator said he just said, why does transforming have to be so violent? Why can't it just be kind of I don't know.
What, beautiful? Jeez.
I guess. I don't know. Guy's weird.
I think I think it's funny because we were watching at my brother's, right? And that was going on, and we're like like it kept getting closer and closer, and you see like the fungus coming out, and I was like, oh, here we go, baby, they're gonna make out. And I was like, so weird.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean,
you know what, I thought it was weird only because like seconds before they were rushing, like they were running in there to like attack whatever's in there, and then like just one of them stops and like oh, okay, well, here you are, like like I was like, okay, like fucking beat the shit out of her or something.
Yeah. But I mean, some people were saying though too that like she was trying to stay as calm as possible so that it wouldn't attack her, so that she can get the line. Because if she was like fighting them off or anything, then it would probably get violent. So if that was the case, then I guess I'm okay with that.
I guess that makes sense. But like,
yeah,
but like a makeout scene, I was like, jeez.
Yeah,
it's too much for me, man.
But yeah, I mean, either way, like, I mean, those first 2 episodes, like I said, they got the environment down. I really like the actors. I actually like that in the show they kind of fleshed out more of the relationship between Tess and Ellie. I mean, it was basically just to kind of like get emotional when she dies and all that, but I like that they did that. They had more scenes with those two.
You know what my favorite line was? It's do I get a gun? No. Oh, I guess I'll throw a fucking sandwich at him.
Yeah.
That was fucking funny, dude.
Yeah, it's
I like
definitely too.
that's what I love about the show. It's like the little remarks that she makes. I mean, that's what she does in the game. Like she's always making like little remarks, like little stupid ones. So now I'm kind of hoping that she does her dad jokes.
Her dad jokes.
She does dad jokes in the not I think dad jokes, but she does like stupid jokes. She gets a book eventually in the game, and she'll be like, "Oh, here's another one." And she'll just say one, and like Joel's all like, "Oh, ha ha, that's not funny." And she'll be like, "It is funny. You just don't like it." So I'm hoping that they have that interaction, like when they're walking, like, "Oh, here's a joke that I came up with," or some shit like that. That'd be fucking funny.
Okay. That's cool. Wow. And actually,
You
I
remember
don't think I
those?
really.
Really?
No, I mean, I don't think I really got like a lot of
Interactions?
yeah, and random interactions.
Mm-hmm.
Like if it was for the plot, like basically just kind of like the ones after certain tragedies that happen. They
Yeah.
try to like talk about it and all that, and just kind of like try to move on. But like
Yeah.
not a lot of like little interactions. I know of one when she's reading those comic books.
Uh-huh.
Like I like the one where she kind of like quotes the comic book. Oh, I can't remember it though. Basically, like we're in this together type of quote from the comics and all that. It's always kind of nice. I also like that you can keep finding those comics throughout
Yeah.
the game.
Oh yeah.
I thought that was really cool. But yeah, actually, I didn't really get a lot of
The comics is about like
interactions.
a pregnant like fighter, right, or something like that.
I think it's like a sci-fi book.
Is it the sci-fi? I could have sworn there was one about something about like a pregnant crime fighting, something like that. Let me see. Last of Us comic.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, like the interactions. Actually, I don't really remember a lot. The random ones, at least.
Mm-hmm.
If it has to do with the plot, those ones I do remember. I still need to finish watching someone else's gameplay of it. I'm sure I'll see like a lot more. But yeah,
Oh, it is a sci-fi one.
it is okay.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
It's called
The only
Savage Starlight.
Savage Starlight. Yeah, that was the comic.
Yeah.
One actually random one that I do remember, it was her trying to whistle.
Oh, the whistling one. Yeah.
Yeah. And she gets it down. She's like, "Oh, hey, I can whistle." He's like, "Oh, great."
It's all pissed off.
You can entertain me now, I guess. So like that. But yeah. So basically, after that sequence, so that's in the game. Afterwards, I think they're gonna change it. Oh, I know. I think it is. No, I think they're gonna go with the same thing with in the show, but he does go to Bill.
Yeah.
In the game, and like we said, yeah, he's trying to get a battery from him and all that. But this one was pretty cool. I can't remember. Was it during Bill's? No, never mind. But I mean, Bill was cool. I really liked him. He's just kind of like doesn't give a shit about anyone else. Only looks out for himself and all that. I mean, which makes sense.
I love them as a character. I think it was pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. The only thing that was like so fucking sad was that, they go to a school to try to find the battery, but when they get there, the battery's gone. Someone already came up with that same idea, so they're trying to run away. Oh, you also fight against a blubber, or I think this is what they call it, a blubber. During that
Oh,
school.
the fuck that guy.
The fat ones.
Yeah.
And all that. Those are actually pretty cool, especially one that you like deal with by yourself when you're playing with Joel. But it's just like standing on the wall.
Wait, which is a blubber? You're not
Those
talking about
fat
that
ones.
big the boss fight, right? You're not talking about. Oh yeah, never mind. That's the first time you interact with one, right?
Yeah.
And in the gym, that one.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I remember now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I fucking hated that guy. Kept dying.
Yeah, I mean, at one point though, oh my gosh, you deal with two of them at some point, which is like,
Oh yeah, I remember that.
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I remember fighting one though that like I just right away threw a Molotov at him
Mm-hmm.
and then just kept shooting with the shotgun and died pretty quickly. So that was pretty cool. But yeah, when that plan didn't work though, they just book it out of there and head towards another little neighborhood area, and they somehow ended up at a house where Bill's partner ended up killing himself because he got bit.
His name is Frank, by the way.
Yeah, Frank. And I don't know. I to me that's a bit too coincidental because there was a lot of houses there, and just like they just happened to run into the one that um had Bill's partner, and with the car with the battery working and all that. I don't know. It's just a little bit
I
too coincidental,
I
but
think I
whatever.
think in the game, I'm not too sure if I'm remembering correctly, but I think they had mentioned like, oh, like this is. I think Frank would go to that house a lot,
Oh, okay.
so it wasn't just like a random house. I think it was like a house that like, oh yeah, like it's my partner would come here all the time, and yeah, sure enough, he's dead in there, and maybe then he's the one that took the battery, but I
Mm-hmm.
think that's what it was, and then I think that's when I think he knew he died, right?
No, he had no idea what happened
He
to
didn't.
him.
Oh, okay, okay.
You find a note in the house, explains what happened.
Mm-hmm.
That like he got bit, but he also says to Bill, "If you find this, I never liked you. You were annoying. You only cared about yourself. You never wanted to go anywhere else. I'm glad I left your ass, basically." And I was like, "Fuck, what the hell?" It's just I found it so fucking sad. Like holy shit.
It's hilarious
Uh,
though.
um, but yeah, once you make it out of there, though, you leave Bill. He stays there, and then you're on the road, and who knows how far they went. I can't remember where they ended up, but they run into a guy who's like injured
Wait, you
in
missed
the
the
middle.
best part of that story.
What?
That's when she's looking through the magazine.
Oh my god! Yes, I forgot. Yeah, yeah. There was books, and there was a bunch of books and magazines in Bill's place, and she stole some of them. And one of them was like a nudie mag of men, and all that. And she's just like, "What the heck is this? Like, what the heck are these supposed to do with that?" And all that. She shows it to Joel. He's just so weirded out by it because he's just like, I don't think you're supposed to see that."
I like when she's like, "Why are the pages all stuck together?"
Oh my god! And then, I mean, I don't know how it was in yours, but like, in mine, though, in the look on his face, he's just like he
Yeah,
doesn't know how to
yeah,
explain
exactly.
it.
Yeah,
But she's just
same
like,
thing, dude.
I,
Same conversation. It was hilarious.
yeah, that was wow. I forgot about that. I wonder if they're gonna keep that in the
They
show,
better, dude.
dude.
They better keep
I
it
hope so.
in
Uh,
Oh man, dude, this show is. I mean, this game is
hmm. There
so
really is
good.
like a lot of funny moments between the two of them. It's great.
Oh, there's a
Uh,
lot, dude. There's a lot of funny moments too. Like just
mhm,
the interaction that they have with each other. It's so funny.
mhm. Uh, eh, but yeah, they make it to town to see a guy who's like injured in the middle of the road, but Joel knew it's like he's faking that shit. So they just he just goes straight forward, tries to like hit the
I love
guy.
that scene, dude. Because what is it like? He goes like, "Ellie, put your seatbelt on." Like what? And he starts speeding up, and then she's like, "Joel, like what the fuck? Like, he ain't injured." And he just
Mm-hmm.
takes out his weapon and starts shooting at him. That
Mm-hmm.
was I love that scene too.
Mm-hmm. And she later on she asked him like, "How'd you know he wasn't injured?" He's like, "I've been on both ends many times."
Mm-hmm.
It's funny. That's actually one thing that's I didn't talk about, but like it's pretty interesting. And my dad was the one that actually brought it up, but he goes, "Oh wow, we're skipping like the whole you know society collapsing, them all trying to figure out how the zombies work and all that shit. Like
Yeah,
basically,
that
like
that's what I was telling you like about the DLC. Like, some people wanted like what happened between after Sarah dies and when it starts up again. Because it's
mhm,
like I mean that's a whole story too.
twenty
What
years.
that's what I was saying. Like Joel started off in Texas and he's in fucking Boston, but it's not just that he's just in Boston, but it's like a fucking society's fucking collapsed,
Hmm.
and it's like a whole that I mean for him to be alive for that many years and like what the fuck did he have to do? Like that is a
Hmm.
crazy ass story too.
Yeah. uh, basically, they just this is when you're facing off like a lot of humans now, but like not feds or anything. Like this is just regular people
Oh,
or
they're yeah, just groups
I
trying to
think they call
survive.
them hunters.
Yeah, they do. Yeah,
Those ones.
yes. Mm-hmm.
And all that. And I mean, I mean, I don't know. I think I more so enjoyed going up against clickers than humans, and not because like they can see me and they can hear me a lot more or anything like that. It's just I don't know. Um, I guess the clickers were a bit more unpredictable in a sense because
Oh,
you
really?
really didn't know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because with the humans though, I can just kind of go okay. It's easier to sneak behind them. It's easier to like kind of stay silent um, when you're choking them out and all
Mm-hmm.
that. But yeah, but I mean, I think they balanced it out really well with going up against
Both of them.
humans and
Yeah.
clickers. Uh, but yeah, and then at some point you meet up with two guys, brothers, and they form a
Do
plan
you,
to like sneak out of the.
do you remember their names or no?
Oh, I think I want to say one of them is Henry, but I could be wrong.
Yes.
Oh, that's right.
Sam and Henry.
Oh, okay.
One
Oh,
of
yeah, I got it.
this is my like they're in from the point you meet them and all that, like love them a lot.
Oh yeah, for sure.
This is my favorite part of the game.
Mm-hmm. I really liked. I mean, like the first you first see him, Henry fucking beats the shit out of Joe and all that, but then
Yeah.
Henry sees that he's with Ellie. It's like, oh, okay, that's always the thing with them.
Mm-hmm.
Families with kids, it's kind of like, okay, chances are it's probably gonna get a guy.
Yeah.
Both take a chance at each other, which is really cool. But yeah, they form a plan to just get out of town, hopefully make it past a bridge. And at one point, fucking Henry and Sam leave you behind because they're almost about to get caught and shit. And but luckily though, obviously, Joe and Ellie they make it out of there too. They make it to the bridge, but they had to jump into the water, and it was Ellie though that jumped first because he was just like, because Ellie can't swim and all that. I
Yeah.
love that joke in the show, by the way, when they're in the hotel.
Dude, that was
And-
so funny.
And fucking Ellie's like, wait, we're going in there? He's like, I can't swim. He's just like, really? He's like, well, there aren't any pools in the QZ, It's like,
Mhm.
no, not that. He just jumps in. He's like knee length
Yeah.
of water. She's like, okay, how am I supposed to know that?
Oh, fun fact about that scene. Remember how like they showed at the piano and there was a frog there?
Mhm.
So Neil Druckmann tweeted the only reason what was it? What did he say? The only reason Piano Frog is in the show was because Piano Bird didn't do his job right, and then he took a. I guess it was supposed to be a bird just walking on the piano instead of a frog, but like and they had like he had the picture on the set like someone holding the bird and he just didn't want to do it.
Oh my god!
So that's why they just put a frog there. It was so fucking funny, man. I was
Wow,
like, oh my
honestly, a
goodness.
frog works better.
Yeah.
Wow, that's funny. Actually, I can't remember if it was in this moment, but yeah, you do go in the hotel. I think it was like before you meet Henry and Sam, but you do go in the hotel going by, and Joel like falls down to the basement. And I texted you this. That like I literally had this.
yes.
I literally had to stop the game at that point because it was stressing me out because you're in the basement, it's all fucking dark, all you have is your flashlight, and I mean that's already like limiting. And at one point you turn like the power back on because you gotta like get a door working and all that.
Mm-hmm.
But
Oh,
there's
and then
fucking
and the fucking generator, like you have to fucking turn it on. It's like, I remember because every time I would see a fucking generator, I'd be like, God damn it, I have to fucking fight a bunch of infected ass people.
yeah, but yeah, that causes noise and you get clickers on you.
Mm-hmm.
Not just clickers though too. These ones like crawl on the floor and shit, so like they're really low. And they
I
had
don't
like a
remember
different name.
this. Yeah, I know,
Yeah.
I know. I don't remember this though, but yeah.
But there's also a blubber in the basement too, and I was just like, oh god, how the fuck am I supposed to
that's
fight
right.
these things?
Yeah.
So I'm just like I'm running around, I'm looking and shit. It's just like I was probably like the most stressful in the entire game. Stressful moment in the entire game, but it was so good. It was fun. Yeah, but at some point, yeah, they jump into the water. They make it to shore and all that, and it was because of Henry and Sam. They saved them from the water and all that. And he had a moment though where Joel was like about to shoot Henry because they left him behind, but he's like, "Would you have come back for me? Come on."
That's true.
Yeah, he probably wouldn't have. then they go inside these sewers, and that's the story about the sewers. Holy shit! Like, do you remember the notes that you find in there?
I don't remember the notes, but the sewers was the place where I fucking struggled the most.
Oh, really?
I
Yeah, makes
cannot
sense.
I could not pass it for the longest time. I would have to like what I did was like okay, it would like I would die, load, and be like, okay, I have to go over here, kill this guy first, and do this, and be like, okay, that didn't work. Go over here, do this, do that, and then at the end, I was like, fuck, I'm going balls in, and I just started shooting up the place, and then somehow I barely survived, and I had no ammo for like the next like fucking hour. I was
Oh
like,
my
fuck it, if I
god!
die, I die.
Damn. Oh,
But
yeah.
I hated the sewers. Like it's really easy, honestly, but it's just I struggled so much.
Mm.
But no, I
Um.
don't remember the notes.
Basically, this one guy was living there. He was kind of like, "This is a really safe place. It stinks, it smells, but
Yeah.
it's really safe. I can set up traps easily. I don't have to worry about anyone, and I'm comfortable here." And at one point, he meets a family. And it's same thing with Joe and Henry because they had kids. He was kind of like already
Mm-hmm.
trusting of them and all that, and he gave them food. They had like a pretty good time, and he's like, you know what, screw it, I'm gonna tell them they want to live here. Make a little, um, make this their home too.
Yeah.
And apparently, I guess their little group grew because they kind of had like a whole bunch of toys around and all that. But sadly, those people, they most of them died. I
Got
think it was
infected,
only
right?
like, yeah, they got somehow some of them got in, um, and yeah, most of them died except for two, which is the guy who originally lived there and the
Mm-hmm.
mom of the family that he asked him to live with first. It wasn't until after you make it out of the sewers that you find a note of the family on their perspective. They're like, "Oh, we met this guy from the sewers, and he's asked them to asked us to live with them. I'm gonna talk to the group and see what happens." And Joel's reaction to that was just like, "That turned out well." But at the end of it, though, you find another note of the guy's name was Ish. That's the guy who originally lived in the sewers, and he said, I can remember the mom's name, but basically he knows that the mom is like suffering from, she literally just lost everyone, but I want to tell her to just keep going on for them, that she has to live for them.
Mm-hmm.
um and we'll see what happens, and I think that might be the end of it. But yeah, fuck. And it's so sad too because, like, I
They're all
mean,
dead.
they're all dead. You see, like, they probably did have something good going on here, probably felt safe, probably felt normal as possible, but fucking
Yeah.
clickers came in somehow.
It's just that little one little fuck up, and
Yeah, and I think
that's
that's
it.
what one of the notes said. It's just like there was one place that they didn't check, or one
Mm-hmm.
place that was open, and they fucking got in.
Yeah.
Um, and when uh, when the group got out, they like they open the door, they close it right away, and Ellie just goes, "Oh, what the fuck!" And you see outside of the sewers, like, "Do not go in." Clickers inside and
Yeah.
all that, and she's just like, "Would have been nice to see the other side of it," but I guess not. Uh, but yeah, and then this is I really like this fight scene of the humans. You're going through the town. Once you make it past the sewers, you're going through the town and all that, and there's a sniper at the other side of the street and all that,
Oh
and
yes.
you
Oh my god.
yeah, and I fucking struggled with him. Yeah, at some point I just went fuck it, and I just ran through trying to get to him and all that.
Yeah.
Um, but I managed to kill everyone, and I loved using the sniper to kill the rest of the people that were there. Then you had to kill the clickers that was following Ellie and those two brothers and all that. Uh, but yeah, that was actually a really cool sequence. I just kind of liked using the sniper, trying to get as many headshots as I could. That's kind of what fucked me up though too in the game. Is that I was really trying to get headshots instead of just going for body shots and all that.
Yeah,
But
dude.
well.
Honestly, when I was playing that mission with the sniper, I was like, okay, well, keep, and they keep coming, you know. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, am I doing something wrong? What the fuck am I doing? And then I was just, it eventually just ended, and I was like, oh, thank fucking God, I don't want to fucking restart this whole place. I was like,
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if one of them dies, like if I was gonna start there, I was gonna start back all the way in the beginning, because you have to like run to the house first, and then that's when you start shooting and all that.
Yeah, I can't remember where it was, but I know there was a one moment though where I was like, "Fuck, I think I gotta start for like the beginning or something."
Yeah.
I want to say it was this one, but I don't remember. I don't know. uh, nah, nah, I can't remember. Oh, but yeah, they make it past that of there though, and they just kind of find a place to stay for the night, and they're getting along. I can't remember how it started, but they talk. Joel and Henry start talking about motorcycles and all that.
Oh, because he's like, oh, like, what was it like? Oh, like I have dreams of riding a Harley, like through the country, and that's when Joel's like, oh, that was best. Like, oh, you actually rode one, and it's like, yeah, of course I did.
I think Ellie gives like a little joke, like, "Oh, these two lovebirds" or something like that.
Yeah.
But Ellie goes checks on Sam, and she's just like, "What are you doing?" Just taking inventory and all that, blah blah blah. And I mean, they start talking about their fears, basically. One of them, I think one of them said like the dark, the clickers, obviously, and just kind of Sam worried about his brother.
Yeah. Ellie says she's scared of being alone, huh? That's what she says.
Yeah, I think so. I think that's what she said for sure. Which actually, that kind of makes sense because I feel like they don't like bring it up or anything, but I do feel like Ellie has like attachment issues.
Well, I mean, technically, because she says it later on. She's like, everyone that I've cared about dies.
That's true.
Yeah. So
yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
But at some point though, Ellie brings out a toy from her backpack, and it was one that earlier they were walking through a toy store or something, and Sam wanted to like grab a robot, but Henry was like, "No, just take what's important. That's all we need." And all that. But she gives him the toy. She leaves, and Sam throws the toy to the ground. And it's because we see that he's
hella mad.
Bit. He's mad because he got bit. He's about to die. The next morning, they're making food. Ellie checks on Sam, and she notices that he's turned. Joel was going to shoot him, but Henry's like, no, he's my brother. And I can't remember. I think
dude, this whole scene is intense, bro. Like,
oh my god,
it's so intense. I love it because he's like, oh, he's fucking turning, and Henry is like, he shoots his gun. He shoots close to Joel, but he's like, it's my fucking brother. And he's like, dude, what the fuck? Like, and then I think, what did he say? Like, Joel's like, nah, fuck this shit. And he pretty much, I don't know if he shoots him or if Henry shoots him. I forgot who it was, but I think it was Henry. And that's when Henry starts breaking down. He's like, what have I done? Oh yeah, it was something. He's like, what have I done? And I was like, oh fuck. Like, when I was playing it for the first time, I was like, holy shit, like what the fuck? And then he's all blaming Joel. He's like, this is all your fault. Like, this wouldn't have happened if we never met you. And I was like, oh fuck. And then Joel's all trying to get the gun from him
because he knows what he's gonna do.
Yeah, he's like, because he's pointing the gun at him. He's like, no, like, put the gun down. It's okay. Like, and then just fucking, dude, I didn't see this coming, dude. Like, he just kills himself, and I was like, dude, like that scene was happening, and like he did that, and then just Ellie's like, oh my god, and I was like, what the fuck? And I was like quiet for like 5 minutes, like, it because it does like a little skip, and it's like it starts playing, and I paused it, and I was like, what the fuck did I just watch? And I was like, I was in shock, bro. I was like, they actually put that in the game. I was like, holy crap. And I got chills, and I was like, excuse me. I was like, I love this game. I was like it is so sad, but I was like, this is amazing. Like, and like, it's just so sad. I just loved it. I loved it. Like, that's my favorite scene from that game, and I can't wait for that to happen in the show. And I hope they don't change it up. I'm just like,
I know. I mean, I don't know if they would.
I feel
I
like
don't
they
know.
would just because of like suicide type of thing. That's it. That's why.
I mean, maybe,
Yeah.
but I don't know. At the same time, though, like you kind of expect that in a zombie
Hmm.
apocalypse show. Fucking.
Yeah.
Did you watch Walking Dead?
I saw all up until the first time they got to the prison. I think.
Oh, okay. Wow.
I
So
never
yeah, you
really. I
were.
think like season 3 or season 4. That's when I stopped watching it. I was like, I'm kind of done with this. But
No, because I mean, I remember there was an episode of that show, and it was like the most emotional, intense moment in the entire series, and it's honestly kind of like the best one too, even though it was super sad. But
which
like,
one?
Walking Dead. Um,
Oh no, yeah, but what episode? What happened?
well, this is like way later on where you left
Oh,
off, but
that's fine.
you're following these four people, and they have these two kids with them, and
Hmm.
the other two are adults, but I mean, they're not like in a they're just friends and all that. They're not in a relationship. It's just they got separated from the rest of the group, and it was just this kind of moment where they had this little peace. You know, they found a house middle of nowhere, and their kids were being kids and all that. The thing though, throughout throughout that season, you're noticing something about the oldest girl, in that she might be a serial killer. You know, there might be like a serial killer in there.
Hmm.
Um, and she sort of confuses like the walkers between like if they're alive or not and all that blah blah blah. Oh, they also had a baby with them too. I forgot that.
Are these is this part of a group that Rick has, or is
Yeah.
it just like random? Oh, okay. I thought it was just like random people.
No, this is
Okay,
the same group.
so
They
it's
got
part of the
separated.
group. Okay.
This actually happens like after the prison. But they
Oh.
all kind of end up separated. Um, and but yeah, it's just kind of like this moment where this little normalcy and all that. And I can't. And I remember though, and at one point though, I can't remember how it happened though, but that the oldest girl though, she winds up killing her sister, who's the other girl in the group.
Hmm.
And it was because no, like I want to prove it. Like she's gonna come back to life. She's gonna be normal. Blah blah blah, and all that. And it's just kind of like I mean, it was hard to tell like if it's like her, like she does like killing, or is she just genuinely confused as to like what is alive and what is dead and all that.
Yeah.
But like it was just this whole fucked up situation that happens, and at the end of it, the woman, the oldest woman, the grown ups, she's the one that like made the decision to kill off the that girl, the one that killed the sister,
Hmm.
because I mean they don't want a little serial killer running around
No,
them.
but yeah.
She's just like this world is just gonna fuck her up even more if she keeps going on. And it was a big line in the show where she goes, "Just look at the flowers, just keep looking at the flowers." She's right behind her with the gun and ends up shooting her. It's just like,
Damn.
I mean,
That's
there were
hardcore.
so many other things. There were so many other things going on in that episode too. That was just like, fuck, it was intense. And then in The Walking Dead, they also had the Talking Dead, which is basically like a talk show. They talk about what happens in the episode.
Yeah, right after, right? Until they canceled
And
it because of the guy.
I don't think it kept going on. Actually,
What was he ever found guilty of that, or was it like
no, he wasn't guilty.
no?
There was just I can't remember why exactly, but there was a lot of people like backing him up, basically saying like this couldn't have possibly been him or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know much of it about it, so don't quote me on that.
So you
But
support him?
yeah,
That's what you're saying now. Okay.
uh, but after when that scene happened and all that, it cuts to a show. They basically hey, thanks, coming right up, it's Talking Dead and all that, blah blah blah. But it's always like, hey guys, what's up? Talking Dead is coming right up after this, and all that. But
Dude,
after,
I think yeah, I would remember because when I was watching it, I think that's when it had started, and then it'd be like the show, like it's sad, right? And then he's all like upbeat, like yeah, let's talk about the show. I was like, all right. I was like,
but this one though, like this one, it really brought everyone down, and he had to
mhm.
be, he was really like, hey guys, after this, it's gonna be Talking Dead. Can't wait to see you. And it's just but it was everyone in like that was he was going to interview too, like in the frame too, just kind of being like, it was just so fucking depressing. But like, god, dude, that was still in the moment where this show was so fucking good. But yeah, I mean, it's just, really off tangent right there, but like it just kind of reminded me of that moment too, where it's just kind of like this intensity builds up, and you just kind of like, oh fuck, like that just happened. What the fuck?
Oh yeah, I guess they never found anything against them.
Mm-hmm.
That's good.
Um, but yeah, and then afterwards, though, you get that somber feeling afterwards, and I think it was Ellie that like she kind of wanted to bring it up about them, but it was Joe that was like, "We got to move on." I'm like, let's just not talk about it and all that. But yeah, but they make it to Tommy finally. After all that fucking,
Oh yeah.
they make it to Tommy, and luckily they meet him right away. He Joel finds out that he's married to someone and all that, and they're just showing him around the community, and this seems probably more safer than the freaking QZ. Um,
Oh wait, I mean the QZ is run by the fucking like what is it, the government, right?
I think so.
Yeah, because I think it's the government, and it's like they're just fucking rationing and fucking what's martial law, so it's pretty
basically,
bad. It's pretty bad.
yeah. And they're just showing him around normal life. Oh, at one point, Tommy said that he went back to his house, Joel's house,
Mm-hmm.
and most of it was gone, but he found a picture of him and Sarah, and all that, which is kind of cool.
Was it the soccer one?
Yeah, the soccer.
Okay.
But at some point, Joel and Tommy they separate from Ellie and Tommy's wife, because they gotta get the electricity going and all that, which they do. And they said that we're gonna have a movie night now because they got it going, but they fucking get attacked by hunters. And but they managed to stop them all and all that, and I love this moment. But I mean, Joel tells Tommy, if he could take her in, take her to where the fireflies are probably hidden, because Tommy was a firefly, he probably knows where they're at. At first Tommy's like, no way, I want to stay here, I gotta stay with my wife and all that, like this isn't my responsibility and all that. They get kind of into an argument, but they get attacked, so it kind of gets interrupted. But after the attack, Joel goes up to Ellie. He's like, "Are you okay?" And she's just like, "Whoa, you should have seen it. I mean, they came in guns blazing and all that. And we're trying to duck down and all that." And she just starts shooting everyone up and blah blah blah. She's like really, you can tell she was nervous, but like she's also kind of like, that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
And all that. And I really do fucking love that moment because Tommy looks at them and he's just kind of like, fuck. He kind of like, you can tell that Joel is caring about her, and so he kind of wants to take it off his hands because he knows how Joel's gonna be. He knows why Joel wants to get rid of Ellie, basically. And Ellie finds out about it. She's like, "Oh, you're just gonna put me off with these guys? Nah, fuck that," and she runs away. They fight off. They find her, but you gotta fight off some dudes. And again, the environment is so fucking pretty. You're riding around in horses, in the forest and all that, through waterfalls and shit. It's so fucking pretty. I love it. I think it was in that moment. I think you mentioned it that she tells them that everyone she meets dies, or people keep dying around her and all that. Blah blah.
Yeah,
blah.
because he finds her in the house, right? And then he walks into the room and she's reading a journal, I guess from like the girl that used to live there, maybe the same age. And then she was like, "Is this all they had to worry about like back then? Like what to wear every day and like if a boy liked her instead of like surviving every day." Yeah, I think that's when she does tell him that like everyone ever cared about everyone ever I cared about has either died or left me except for you. And then I was like, hope. I was like, my heart. I was like, poor Ellie.
Yeah, and it's so cool because like they're surviving together. Like Tess. I mean, yeah, Tess died and all, but like after that, it was just like, we're making it. We're getting through these fucking people. We're making through these clickers. Like, yeah, why would she want to be separated from him?
Yeah.
And it kind of like, I don't know. It's just that moment's kind of pretty significant, especially towards the end. I forgot to mention that when they were with Henry and Sam, there was at one point where they walked past an ice cream truck, and Nellie's like, "What is this?" And it's Sam going like, "Oh yeah, I've heard about these. It's called an ice cream truck. Like you can get ice cream from these guys and all that." And she's like, and Nellie goes, "Bullshit, Joel, is that true?" And he's like, "Yeah, play a creepy song, go around the neighborhood, and you can buy ice cream off of it." And she's just like, "Holy shit!" It's just, I found it funny, especially like when she was like, "Bullshit, Joel, is that true?"
She's so funny, man.
She really is. And she's still in the show. The girl playing her, she's funny too. People, this I really don't like that people complain that she's like, oh, she's a bit more tougher, in the show than she is in the game. It's like, yeah, that makes sense. But like, you still had that moment though when she was in the hotel and she goes, ding ding. Hello,
Yeah,
sir,
dude. That's what I'm liking about the show. It's like it's keeping. It's straight. It's the fucking game. Like the characters are all the same. Like Joe's stubborn as fuck, and he's old. And Ellie's just. I mean, she's a fucking kid. She's just doing stupid like little things like that.
But I actually, one thing I do like about her character is that she still understands like the stakes of the situation.
No, yeah,
you know. Like she goofs around a lot, but like when it comes down to it, and they're like, "Hey, stay behind us. You're gonna do this and this," and she goes, "Yeah, I'll do that." You know, she still listens to the adults too, so that's something that's really cool about her character. Where was it? Oh yeah. They find her. They go back, and Joel decides, you know what? Just tell me where to go, and we'll both go. He goes, Tommy is like, "Are you sure?" It's like, "Yeah, I'm scared of your wife. I don't want her to get mad at me if anything happens to you."
Gotta listen to the wives, dude, man. They get scary, man.
Yeah. And I was surprised that, like, you know, as soon as they leave, they right away make it to the hospital where Tommy said to go. No, it wasn't a hospital. It was like a university and a science lab and all that. And yeah, I mean, just a bunch of puzzles and shit. I can't remember what she. I think she. Oh, I remember now. They were having a conversation as they were going towards the university, where she was trying to understand how football, how football works. And then she said, and she was like talking about like, oh yeah, so if they make it past 10 yards, it goes back to a first down, and they get 4 more downs after that and all that. She's like, yep, that's about it. And he goes, it's confusing. Yeah, that was a funny conversation. But yeah, I mean, they make it to the science lab, but no one's there. There's no one in the university at all. So they're like, fuck. Luckily though, they found these recordings where the scientist was just like, well, I got bit. Oh well.
Oh, that's true. I forgot.
But the scientist says like, oh, they're in a new lab in, I can't remember where. But yeah, that's basically their next destination. But the hunters arrive again, and Joel gets injured. He gets shot, or I can no, I remember.
No, yeah, they're fighting off the. They're not hunters. It was another. Well, yeah, they call them hunters, but it's a group, and they're fighting them off. And then, what is it? They're in the room, and then they tackle Joel through a window, and then, or he tackles the guy into the window. I forgot who did it, but they fall off like what 2-3 stories off, and then Joel lands on a fucking. Just a piece of fucking metal sticking out, and like it's through his fucking abdomen or some shit. And I was like, when I saw that shit, I was like, what the fuck? I was like, what's going
on? Also, you find a flamethrower in the university.
Oh yeah. That's just fun, dude.
I only used it once, actually. I never used it. Yeah.
Really? It was awesome.
I mean, I probably could have used it on the blubber, but I was just kind of like, I like guns.
That's what I would use it on, the blubber.
But yeah, he falls through and gets injured, and Ellie's the one that like has to like really get him out, and she holds her own for a bit. I forgot actually.
And people are complaining that she's tough and she's like lifting up a fucking 40, 50-year-old man off the ground because you can't do anything. Jeez.
Actually, I forgot. I remember mentioning when she first got a gun because she does that like in the show. She does like try to tell them like, "Can I get a gun? Can I get a gun?" They're like, "No." But I can't remember. Oh, I remember now. It was after like the hotel, like still before when they met Henry and Sam. He finds like a little rifle. He's like, "Okay, I want you to stay here. Keep an eye on me." But in that scene though, like in that sequence, I stayed pretty well hidden inside the buildings, so like Ellie never really got a shot off. so she didn't really do much, but whatever. But after
what game happens, he's like, "Oh yeah, you can use it."
But afterwards, though, I think that's when he does give her a gun. Actually, he's like, "All right, you did a good job here."
Yeah, because she gets a gun like really early on in the game.
Yeah, but Ellie gets him out of the science lab, and they run away together. And it just skips to winter, and you play as Ellie. That was really cool.
But on the way to wherever they went, Joel's fucking dying.
Oh, actually, I remember that.
Because he's bleeding out. Remember, like you're walking with him, and he's like passing out at the same time.
Actually, how did this conversation start? Actually, but like, she as she's carrying him, she goes, "You're so going to sing for me after this." Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I think she says like, "Oh, I know what I want to be, or what I would have liked to been. It's like an astronaut. Just get out of this planet, be by myself up there and all that." And he mentions, "Yeah, I wanted to be a singer at one point." She's like, "What? Sing for me? You come on, you gotta sing something." But yeah, she says that comment. It's like, "You gotta sing for me after this, buddy," and he never does. What the heck? At least not in this game. I don't know. The second one. But yeah, it cuts to winter, and we're playing as her, and that fucking deer hunt that you go through was annoying.
Real fast. Have you seen that clip of that girl that's on Twitch when she's like bawling her eyes out because of what happened with Joel? Like oh my god, he's dying and stuff like that. So she's crying, and then because it's like winter and she's still crying like a little bit. She's kind of holding up, and then the bunny pops out, and then she's like, "It's the most beautiful thing I've seen in my life," and then it fucking dies because Ellie shoots it. She's like, "Oh!"
How could you not see that coming? Though?
Have you seen it? I didn't see that coming.
Yeah, I saw that coming too. I was like, "Oh, okay." So, Ellie or Joel are gonna shoot it, huh? No.
Yeah, it was so like you've never seen it. Though? I'm gonna show it to you. It's so funny because like it's like the sound that she makes. She's like crying. She's like, "It's the most beautiful thing I've seen in my life." she cries because it dies, and then I think she ended the stream like 5 minutes later. She's like, "I can't handle this right now." It's up. I'll show it to you later, but it's so funny, man.
Yeah. This moment though, I really hope they like expand on it, like really show Ellie trying to take care of him.
Oh yeah.
I would love like just no dialogue sequences of her like carrying him down into the basement and all that, and she's off like hunting, like trying to figure it out on her own, like to use the bow and arrow and shit. Like, oh my gosh, I really hope they like add that in the show, because that would, to me, that would like really build up their relationship. With like, oh, she really cares about him. She really wants to take care of him, and in the moment where he wakes up, she's like, oh, it's like, hopefully he can see evidence of like what she did for him and all that. So yeah, that scene, it can be fucking beautiful if they do it right. But yeah, you fucking hunt a deer, and you meet up with this two dudes who one of them, you meet up with David. he just had to have the name.
It's so funny because when I was looking at the recap of the story, and I was like, "Oh, you meet up with David," and I was like, David. I was like, "That's David's name."
And seriously though, like it just had to be him though, with the same name as me, like the worst person in the entire game.
And he has a beard.
Yeah, he has a beard. Oh my god. But yeah, you meet those two guys, and Dave is being all nice to her. It's like, "Hey, can we take this? And we can give you something else, whatever you need." She's like, "Medicine. I need medicine." She's like, "Yeah, sure." Tells the other guy to go back and bring some antibiotics and all that shit. And then you get attacked And I really do like this moment though, because you are kind of building up a trust.
I think it's crazy though, because you're fighting
Mm-hmm.
alongside him. Remember? Because you guys meet up, and then you guys. That's when the two whatever come out,
Yeah,
right?
it's I mean, just a bunch of clickers come out and shit, and you're
Oh, I thought the two. What is it? Like the big fellas? What are they called
blubbers.
again? Isn't this a place where like the two blubbers come out?
No, the two blubbers is
Oh, I thought it was with them.
it's towards the end actually. But yeah, but a bunch of clickers pass by.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually really like playing as Ellie. Like I don't know. It sucks.
Dude, her bow accuracy,
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah, I think it was better
So
than
good.
Joel's. And the only
Yeah,
thing though,
yeah. Because you go back to him, he's all like, "Well,
I think the only thing though is that she can't take as many hits as Joel, which I mean makes
no,
sense.
yeah." Because I mean, she's a
Yeah.
little girl.
Uh,
Yeah.
but I mean, other than that though, her gameplay was actually really cool. I kind of like playing as her better. uh,
Mm-hmm. No, she was
mm,
cool.
uh, and but yeah, you survive the clickers with him and all that, and you think, oh, okay, this is gonna be great. But then you fucking you're in the you're there by the fire, and he goes, oh, it's a crazy story. You know, my group they told me about this guy who's traveling around with the redheaded girl. You know, they killed every one of my groups. And right away you're like,
No, dude, it's cool though. I love it. I'm
it's
so
fine.
sorry, but what does he say? He goes, because I just saw the scene
Mm.
right now. Like probably like before he called me too, he was all saying like, oh, they had like had a group that went out to like the university, and lo and behold, there's a crazy old man, and some of them came back all fucked. Like some of them came back, but not all of them. And funny thing is, they were telling me like some crazy old man was with a little girl, just like
Mm.
you. And then boom, those are like, oh
Yeah,
shit.
that's
I was like, okay.
and she gets a gun right away. She's like, okay, you gotta stop right here, buddy.
Mm-hmm.
um, but I can remember. I think he lets her go. Yeah, he lets her go with the medicine.
Yeah, lets her go, and then she. How close is she? Oh yeah, she lets it. She lets him go, but I think he follows her, right?
Probably she tried to hide her
Yeah.
checks, but she just
Mm-hmm.
managed to get away from them long enough to like give the medicine to Joel. When they show up where she was, she tries to sneak away, but they fucking catch her and shit. Um,
R.I.P. horse.
oh yeah, the horse dies. Um, and I mean, she makes it pretty far, with
She did. Yeah.
without getting caught, but eventually, I think it was David that like fucking catches her and shit. Um, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think this sequence was pretty cool too. Again, I really like playing as Ellie. Uh, and she goes back to their camp, and David he's still trying to convince her. He's trying to convince her to stay in his group, but not to be like a part of the group. Just be with him. He's a pervert, basically, a pedophile. Um,
Is that what it was?
yeah, that's what it was. That's
Because I got that reference, but then I never really bothered to look online to see if it was actually that. But it's like because he's a cannibal.
yeah, they're cannibals.
Yeah, so that's why I was like, was he trying to eat her, or like was he trying to like pretty much like rape her and eat
No,
her?
he,
I never really like got it, so I was like, okay, cool. But either way, like I'm glad
yeah,
he's
yeah.
dead. Oh, sorry.
No, yeah. Basically, everyone was kind of like, let's just kill her, because she killed all the rest of our group. But he wanted,
Yeah.
because at one point he says, he's like, no, I want you with me. You're special. And he holds her hand, and Ellie, she holds his hand back, but then breaks his finger. Which I was like,
Yeah.
okay, that's nice. And actually later on though, when Joel wakes up, he goes up against, he captures two guys, and one of them says like, oh, he asked them like, "Oh, where's the girl that I was with?" And he's like, "Oh, she's with David. She's gonna be his new plaything."
Oh,
Mm.
okay.
And fucking Joel's brutal with these two. He fucking beats the shit out of one that tells like the other guy, it's like, "All right, better point to me where they're at." He's like, "Oh, I ain't saying shit."
I love this
Stabs
shit,
him,
yeah.
Just kills them both basically.
Dude, he fucking stabs him in the kneecap, bro.
Mm.
I was like,
Yeah, I mean, he's just fucking brutal. Ellie man, just
I actually love that part because I mean it kind of shows you like like he's done this
yeah.
before.
he
Like him and his brother has done it before, and it's like, what is it like the point at the map? If he doesn't say the same spot, then you guys are gonna fucking die.
mm-hmm. Basically. And then the other guy he's also like, yeah, he told you the truth. He's like, yeah, I'm sure he did. And he kills him.
Yeah, he just kills him. Yeah.
But yeah, Ellie manages to escape too. You're running. I mean, it's just basically them meeting up at some point. I mean, it's kind of intense too, because you're kind of like, oh my gosh, when are they gonna meet up? Is one of them gonna get injured again?
Yeah.
And it mentioned.
Dude, and when that's going on, you're playing as Joe as well, and it's like there's a snowstorm going on. So you can't really see. So you're trying to look for like where they're at, and then you go back to Ellie, and it's like, oh god, like that whole dude. Like I've said it before. Dude, this game's amazing. I mean, like, if you guys are listening, you guys need to play it if you guys haven't. Like,
yeah, really and I love the back and forth too, because I never felt like, oh, I'm playing as Ellie now. It's like, oh, I gotta get, there was never really like a jarring difference between the two and their gameplays. It's just really good back and forth between the two. And this is where actually I figured out like, oh, I can use the arrows on the humans. And I kind of wasted quite a few on them. I mean, it's not like I didn't know I could use them, but like I just wasn't sure like, okay, if I don't hit them in the right spot, are they just gonna keep going or what? But no, you can kill them pretty easily with one shot. I was happy about that. But yeah, at some point you end up at some buffet restaurant, and it's Ellie and David against each other while it's burning up and shit, and you have to like get behind him and shit. I thought at one point I did screw up because I thought maybe I can like when you're hiding you can press the triangle to like just kind of get them, but no, you have to like actually be behind David in order to attack him and all that. Annoying, but it's cool. It makes sense.
I was scared.
It was honestly kind of scary.
Like the playing as Ellie in that scene was like, I was like, fuck, dude. Like, I would hate to be in that position.
And Ellie is the one that kills him in the end, huh? Like she does manage to.
Oh, she fucking slaughters him, bro.
Yeah, she fucking.
Yeah, because eventually it's like, what is it like? Well, you stab him like what twice or three times, and then he like gets you, and he like fucking he throws you, and I think he punches the shit out of you, or something happened where you're pretty much knocking out, and then he has machete, and then he's giving her this whole speech, and then you fucking I think you get your knife, or you get like a piece of like burning wood, and like just fucking smack him, or you stab him or something like that, and that's when he like kind of like falls over because he's on top of you, and that's when he falls over, and then you just get the machete, and just fucking start hacking at him, like on top of like just at his head, and it's like fuck, dude, it's so fucking intense because you're like fucking shit, and that's when Joel comes in, and he's like, and he gets her and he hugs her, and she's all like, don't fucking touch me. And she's no, baby girl, like it's me. And I was like, oh fuck. I was like, that's so sad. And that's when she was like, he was good. I'm like, no, I know, baby girl, like I know. And I was like, damn, fuck David.
Yeah, boo David. But yeah, no, you can see it coming too. Like she actually grabs the machete, and that's how she knocks him out of her way. But you see it coming too. Like, okay. Like, oh my gosh, she's gonna get it, and she's just gonna fucking.
She wailed at him, dude. Like.
But yeah, when Joel grabs her though, and she's just like, "Don't touch me!" And it's like, "Oh," and she starts crying. He holds her, and she starts crying, and she's just like, "Let's just go." And then just cut to I think spring.
Yes.
And basically heading towards the town where the fireflies are at, and
where are we headed at?
Oof, I don't remember. But that the whole sequence, Joel is now the one that's like kind of trying to talk to her, trying to like ask Utah.
Salt Lake City. Yeah, there we go. That's what it was. My bad.
Trying to talk to her, trying to have a conversation with her, but Ellie's not having it. She's really like traumatized.
Yeah, she's traumatized. Yeah,
from the whole thing. But what gets her back up though is that they go through a building, and She goes, "No way." He's like, "Ellie." Oh no, I remember now. They're trying to get to like the second floor of a building, and she has to like drop a ladder for him. But
Mm-hmm.
she kind of like she literally just drops it and it falls to the floor, and she goes, "Oh no way." And Joel's like, "Ellie, like, what the fuck? Where are you going?" And he goes back up, and she goes, "Come on, you gotta see this and all that." And every time you go to the window, you miss what she sees and all that. Except for one point, actually,
Mm-hmm.
where you do see what's on the other side of the window, but the window's like blurry and shit. There's stuff in the way, but you can
Yeah.
tell what it is right away. And I was like, "Holy shit, that's cool!" And finally make it, and it's these giraffes that she sees, and you actually get to pet them and shit. I mean, that's a beautiful fucking scene. Honestly, I love the music
Yeah.
playing in that moment. A lot of it's just kind of like, I mean, I don't remember any like intense music playing, except for like when you get caught by a clicker or something, or when you're about to get caught by a clicker or a human.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, that music, it's beautiful and shit, and like you get to stay there, um, for as long as you want, as you're seeing like your ass walking away and shit. And I can't remember the conversation honestly.
Same.
Yeah, but I just kind of remember. I love the shots of it where they're kind of talking, they're having a moment, and like the last shot of it is you see like the baby giraffe walking away and all that. And it's all just
Mm-hmm.
beautiful fucking scene. Um, hopefully they keep that. I'm sure they will. um,
Ooh, if they don't keep it, people are gonna be
mm,
mad because that's like a lot of people's favorite scene
mm-hmm.
right there.
It's the best. Uh, and yeah, basically you're going to the town again, and this is where you really get to stock up on a lot of shit. I don't know if it was for you, but like for me, like I just kept getting one thing after another. Um, I was sad that I couldn't upgrade my stuff all the way. There was a bunch of stuff that I wish I would have could have done. um,
I think I only missed like one
mm,
upgrade, but then they have like the new game plus mode, so you can just do it like right after
mm,
that. But yeah, I think I missed which one was it? Oh, I missed two upgrades because you get a gun afterwards
mm,
too. So after the last time you see a spot, but I mean, I don't know. I was never gonna do that again.
yeah.
So
um, but yeah, you're basically underground, and this is where you meet those two blubbers. Like there's like just a bunch of clickers around and shit. Try to get it. And by that point though, like I had really got it down of like as to how to go up against these things and all that. So
mm-hmm.
I was doing a fairly good job, but then finally, oh my gosh, I remember. You're There's a bunch of water on the ground, so like you're definitely gonna be making noise when you're in there. And at one point, I just went fuck it.
Is this the like the tunnel?
Yeah.
Okay.
And at one point, I just kind of went, "Oh, there's way too many. I'm gonna make a run for it. Fuck it." And I throw a bottle somewhere where they go away from my exit, and I just run for it and shit. And obviously they hear me, but I didn't know that there was gonna be a truck in the way. When you get there, and I was about to press triangle, but then Ellie goes, "There's too many of them for us to go up," and I was like, "Fuck!" And so like I had to just fight all of them. I'm running around everywhere, just trying to get away from all the clickers and shit. Finally, it was just.
You know what's so funny? I did the same thing. Because I was like, that's a lot, and I just like fucking distract them. Just and I was like, it was like distract them real quick, and then not even run, but just like crouch and
Mm.
walk, and then that shit happened. I was like, I barely have ammo. I was like, God damn it.
uh, but yeah, that one though, like I tried to make as much bombs and molotovs as I could,
Mm-hmm.
uh, and it worked fairly well, especially for I guess the blubbers. Uh, but yeah, I managed to get them all. Um, yeah, you make it past that, and you're just still surrounded by water and shit. Um, and at one point, uh, I mean, like I said, it's just a bunch of water. You're trying to get past that. Ellie can swim still, but at one point she does end up drowning. Uh, and when you finally make it out of the tunnel, Joel's trying to give her CPR because she wasn't moving or anything. but that's when you see the fireflies, and they're like, "Don't move, like get away from her," blah blah blah.
Yeah.
But he's like, "She's not breathing, man," and they knock her out. He wakes up, and yeah, like I said, you find out that it is the fireflies. Who's that lady? The one that like gives him the job?
Marley.
Marley. Okay, yeah. You see Marley, and then she says like, I had like a whole group of people with me, getting all the way over here, and I lost basically all of them, and somehow you and Ellie made it. Like how? You know, like I said, like I feel like that's just so important because like somehow the two of them together just like they made it through anything. You know, it's like they can take on the whole world together somehow. That's that was what I was thinking like the entire time. I was like, damn, like those two, like they can literally take over the world if they wanted to or something like that. They're just that's a good of a team they were. And Marlene says, but yeah, I mean, thank you for bringing her here, and we can make a vaccine, I think, from her. But the only way to do that is to get the thing that makes her immune, which is
from her brain, right?
Inside her brain. And he's just like, so you're gonna kill her? And it's like, yeah, so to save everyone. And he's just like, nah. And you're fucking going through the whole Firefly base, killing everyone. Yeah.
Dude, that was crazy, man. Like the whole last mission. Fuck, dude, just going through like a hospital, just fucking killing people, and I was like, fuck.
You get a machine gun at that point. I fucking hated using that thing. It's just...
Dude, that thing was so strong. What do you mean you hated using it?
I mean, yeah, it's strong, but like you can't really control it once you start shooting and all that. And it's, I don't know.
We'll get better at it.
But I mean, I had enough bullets to really use like all my guns.
Yeah.
Quite well. But yeah, I mean that one was pretty fun because you really wanted to like get through everyone. I don't know. At least for me, like I really want to get through everyone. Like, come on, let's go. You and me. But yeah, eventually, I'm curious. Could you have when you find Ellie and you with those doctors, could you have shot them?
You didn't kill
them? No,
them?
I killed one guy, the one that was like threatening me. Right?
The main doctor?
Yeah, like if you can go up to him and press triangle and like kill him. But like the other two you can let live. But can you...
Oh no, hell, I fucking
killed you killed them all?
Yeah, I was like, fuck this place.
Wow, okay. I was because like it was I was there and I was kinda like, wait, can I aim? It's like I can shoot them all? But then I just kinda get closer to him, see like what he would do what the doctor would do, and told me triangle. And yeah, I killed him. The other two.
Yeah, when you said that, I was like, you could have avoided killing all of them. I was like, oh, I didn't know that. I just fucking shot him. I was like, I shot all of them.
I wasn't sure if you could do it, but like, I just wanted to see like what happens if I just got closer to the doctor. And yeah.
Yeah.
And then you're just basically running around. I got caught once during that sequence when you're carrying Ellie. Because I was kind of like, oh wait.
Same here because I got lost.
Yeah, no, I got confused though too because you turn the corner and like you see soldiers. I'm like, oh, well, clearly I can't go here, so I go back and like try to go somewhere else. But then I just get cornered, so I was like, okay, maybe I do have to go there. And I was right. Yeah, you have to go to where those soldiers are at, but you just wind up kind of taking a turn to another room.
Take a left or a right? Yeah, somewhere. Yeah. That happened to me too because I was like, oh fuck, I gotta go back, and I was like, okay, and I walked. Well, because you're running, right? Like the whole time you're running with her, and it's like so emotional. You're like, oh fuck, what do I do? And I think you like take a left, or I think you take a left or something like that. But that's the right way to go. I think it took me like 2 tries to like figure out where to go. But and it's like, dude, it's crazy though because like if I remember correctly, like the music was like, was it playing like emotional music? Yeah, because you're running with Ellie, and it's like. I was like, dude, you're trying to fucking escape like a fucking hospital and you're being shot at, and it's like you just fucking killed the fucking doctors. It's like, where else do you have to go? Like he has nowhere else to go. He's just running with her, like trying to save her life. And I think it's crazy too because it's she. I don't know if you brought it up, but she wanted to do the surgery.
She did.
Didn't she?
I
Didn't she agree to it?
I don't think so. I think she was
I
what I from what I remember is that she was knocked out because she was drowning and stuff. And while she was still
mm-hmm.
knocked out, they tested her, see if they can make a vaccine from her,
Uh-huh.
and they just prepped her for surgery right away as soon as they found out. You know? Yeah.
Oh, I thought she talked to Joel before the surgery.
No, she didn't talk to Joel for
No.
sure.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, they were just prepping her, and it was when
Mm-hmm.
you make it down to like I guess some garage or something where you take the car. Uh, Marlene
Yes.
says like she wouldn't have felt anything basically, and I think that's kind of like she would have known what was going to happen at all.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean that happens, and then later on too, she was like, "Wait, what happened?" And he goes, "Oh, turns out there's a bunch of you out there. You know."
Oh yes, I forgot about that part too. Yeah.
There's a bunch of you out there.
That's crazy. There's a bunch of like scenes in the game that like overshadows the ending for me. Like the whole Sam and Henry's, like that was like my favorite one, and then there's also the Tess dying. I really love the interaction with Bill, and so when it comes to the ending, I'm just like, oh yeah, that happened. I forgot. Like it's not really like the ending was. I love the ending. It was never really like like so memorable compared to the other scenes. So
yeah, and I can't remember if he says like, oh, they can't make something from her, or they can make a vaccine from her, or something like that. I don't know. But yeah, that basically like gets her disappointed because she really thought she could have helped humanity, with that. But yeah, it cuts to them going back to Tommy's place. But they have like a little conversation where she says like, promise me you were telling the truth and all that. And he says, "I promise," and it cuts, and that's
it just cuts off. Credits. When it ended, I was like, "That's it." Damn, I want more.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, I remember when I know what happens in the end. That like I knew what happened in the end. That you kill everyone and save Ellie. So when I got to that part, we see Marlene again. I was like, "Oh wow, I'm already here." I feel like I was gonna have like a lot more gameplay or something.
I love that. I love that place when what she says like, "Oh, like let me live," and then he's just like, "Why? So you could just keep chasing us?" Like
it shoots her.
It just shoots her. Yeah, I was like, "Oh, like that was your friend."
But yeah, that's the game.
That's the last
part one.
Okay, so now, yeah, part one. When are you planning to play part two?
It's probably gonna be a while. I don't know if you can see, but I just not there. I downloaded Jedi Fallen Order.
Oh, dude. Okay, we can do that next.
Yeah. So I'm gonna play that next. Hopefully, I can save up enough money to buy the second part and all that, and then we can do that. Hopefully, I doubt it, but I think hopefully by the time I finish the second part, the show will be over, and then maybe we can do a full review. But I don't know. I'm kind of doubting it.
Giving you a heads up, dude. Part two, depressing as
fuck. I've heard that. There's a lot of
it's. And it's long. It's way longer than this one. Just say like way longer. So.
Yeah. So yeah, it's gonna be a while before we get to part two, which I don't know. It kind of sucks because I know that one's like the most controversial game, and I would love to hear as to why. See as to why.
There's only one reason, and it's just like that's it.
Yeah, and I know what the reason is exactly, but I still want to see it.
It's a good game. It's a good story.
Yeah. So we'll see. But yeah, Jedi Fallen Order is probably gonna be next, and then hopefully the show.
Nice.
But yeah, I mean the game though.
Good luck with the good luck with the Jedi though, because that game is hard.
Yeah. I'm excited. But yeah, The Last of Us though. I mean, we said in the beginning, great fucking game. Love the visuals. Love these characters. And I mean, for sure, this, like I said, this is a game that I would love to replay again. On a harder difficulty, but it's not gonna happen anytime soon.
You're like,
I
fuck
know.
that.
But
And you know it's crazy though, because I'm not too sure if it's the hardest difficulty, because it's you get the hardest difficulty and then you get grounded mode, which grounded mode is fucking hard as fuck. But I think in both of them, or just in grounded mode, you can't use that listening effect.
oh yeah, I heard that.
So yeah, so you don't know where anyone's at. Like, you know, like the clickers that make the sounds, and you can like use the sonar or whatever. So I don't think I was able to use it, or if I did, you can only use it for like 2 seconds, and like it would drain the whole thing. So it's pretty crazy.
Yeah, you know, I heard that you, like, it trying to make it grounded, like realistic as possible, basically. But yeah, that's I don't know if I would do that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, any final thoughts?
No, I mean, I've said what I wanted to say. Just, I mean, I hope that. Did your sister watch the show?
Yeah, she saw it. She's really liking it.
She's liking it.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just hoping the other guys like actually watch it. I mean, I know they're tired of like the whole genre thing, but I mean, it's not even about that. It's more about the two characters interacting with each other. So I'm really excited for them to just watch it.
I mean, we'll see. Maybe when the show's all the episodes are out, maybe they'll binge watch it.
You gotta make them watch it.
You gotta make them. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, hopefully, I really hope the show gets like good reviews throughout the whole thing, and hopefully this gets studios to maybe make more shows, show adaptations. Because I mean, I agree with you. I think video games should become into shows, just like how I think some books should become shows, because you know, there's so many details into these.
Yeah,
things.
it's a bunch of
So I mean, we'll see.
But also depends on the length of the book or the game as well. You know, like.
I mean, I probably wouldn't say length to the game. It's also just kind of like the story itself. Because like, let's say like a Metroid adaptation happens, I can see that one too movie, because it's just kind of like you're in a space station, you gotta just get out, you know. And
but then if you compare, I mean, either way, like that would be like, I mean, that'd be cool too, like a Metroid movie. But then if they make a Metroid show,
you can add like
you just get, I don't know, I feel like you just get more how would you say content, I guess. So
that's true.
But I feel like it all depends on like I mean, because Sonic as a movie was like, either way, like it's better as a movie, and then Mario too. But at the same time, like Mario as a TV show, I feel like it would drag.
I mean,
not drag, but it just repeat itself.
It also just depends on like who has the rights for what game, because like, I mean, The Last of Us, like, it looks great visually, like the CGI. I mean, you could still see moments where there is CG, but like it's not like, oh, that's bad or anything. Like, no, it all looks really, really good.
No, it's just like the background, yeah.
Yeah, it all looks really, really good. And so when the adaptation happens on one game particularly, I would like it to be a movie, just so that it can get like the right amount of budget where you can make those visual effects like look fucking awesome. You know, because like a Metroid show, maybe you can get a cool costume, but I don't know how it would look visually, unless it gets like HBO level of a budget, you know.
How about like anything video game related just goes to HBO? I'm just saying though, because I mean, okay, so HBO is doing The Last of Us, right? And which 2 episodes in, you know, it's pretty good so far. What is it? Amazon's gonna do God of War. I'm just concerned if that's gonna be top notch, like quality.
heard some iffy stuff on the Rings of Power, and they put in a whole lot of money into that. Granted, though, I mean, budget doesn't really talk about quality because look at Rings of Power and look at this.
No, yeah, of course.
It
Yeah.
just depends on the creator and how they use it well and all that. But I mean, so far that's probably the only iffy thing.
No, yeah. I just feel like it's in Sony's hands,
Mhm.
honestly. They're gonna have to be making the deals here and there. So I'm just gonna concern, like I'm concerned for the God of War series. Until I see a trailer, I'll be like, okay, cool, or the cast at least. But a question for you: do you want to see any other video game turned into a TV show or movie that you would like to see?
TV show. I think Star Fox could probably be cool as a TV show.
That'd be dope.
TV show. Fuck. I don't know. I don't know what else.
Oh, they're also making the Ghost of Tsushima
Oh yeah.
movie. I forgot about that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what's crazy about that one? Like they want to keep it all Japanese.
Yeah, I heard that too.
And I was like, hey,
that's
I'm
good.
down.
That's really cool.
I was like, just put it black and white too.
That'd be funny. That'd be cool.
Because that's one of the features in the game. You can have like the whole black and white the screen. And I was like, dude, if they do that, it's like old Japanese samurai style movies. That'd be dope. Which I doubt.
One thing I forgot to mention in the beginning of this, but Super Nintendo World. Some people got to go in.
It's open to the public.
Oh, it is open to the public? I thought they just...
It's open to the public, but the rides are not
open.
open.
Okay. Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, so the ride's open on, I think, on Mario Day, but like you can just, if you're in the park, you can go.
Oh, okay. That's cool.
One of my friend's friends went there, and she was like, "Oh, it's really cool," and I was like, "Okay." Oh, and my coworker too, he went to Mario Land. He bought like pens. Like the stores are open, you just can't go to the rides. But he got me a Bowser pen, which I don't have here, but it's I'll send you a picture, but it's like a plastic. And on the top, it's like either Mario, Luigi, Peach, or Bowser. And I was like, oh, I'll get the Bowser one. But I was like, oh, that's cool, dude. And he's like, how is it? He's like, oh, it looks nice.
Yeah, it really look nice. I love the videos and pictures that I saw. But
I know, I really want to go
someday.
And you know what's funny? Because I wanted to get a pass for me and Susan to go. But I was like, nah, like, I don't want to get the pass for Universal and then find out that I can't. Because I thought it was going to be like Disney, where like, oh, you have the annual pass? Okay, but you have to make another reservation to like go to Star Wars Land when it opens up, you know?
Okay, I got you.
So I thought that's how it was going to be, because I was like, oh, it makes sense. But then, no, it doesn't. It's like, as long as you have the pass, you can just go. And I was like, God damn it.
Okay.
But yeah.
But, okay. Yeah. I think that is it for this episode. Thank you for listening. Check me out on Red Spotlight. I'm in there sometimes. Don't know when Turn to Page is gonna come back. But yeah.
It's Turn to Page. Wait, what? Turn to Page?
Yeah.
You guys are doing
No, we're still doing it. But we're hoping to do it sometime next week. But we'll see.
What book are you guys on?
Book 3 of Harry Potter.
Book 3 of Harry Potter. Because I'm asking because the game's coming out in I think like a week or two.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know if I'll get it because I'd rather get The Last of Us Part 2.
No, I'm gonna wait on it too, but I would assume you guys would like do like a video of that.
Yeah, I mean maybe.
Or like a podcast about that one. I'm just concerned.
I mean, I don't know. Probably for now until the game arrives, I'll probably briefly bring it up some other people's reviews. But I don't think we'll talk about it fully until I actually play it. So we'll see.
Yeah, sounds good. That's fine. That's dope.
Yeah. Maybe I can just bring up some stuff with them of like, what they've seen so far, Or I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, again, thank you all for listening. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Oh, and by the way, we're finally on Apple Podcast and
Yes, we
Spotify.
are.
I was waiting for you to bring it up
I
too.
forgot. Thank you for doing that.
Yeah.
Yes, and we're still and on YouTube, obviously. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, just give us a like here and there. We'll be posting whenever we want because it's not an official thing and we don't have a schedule.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Bye.
All right. See you guys. Bye.